Oh, we're live.
Oh no.
All right, welcome everybody. My name is Patrick Rooney. Welcome to the live show.
Oh
We
God.
are here. Short notice as usual this week. Sometimes my good friend Brian Mizaraka is with me today, and sometimes I just get short notice. We do the best we can. We got working people here. We ain't messing around. We ain't sitting around waiting all day to do shows. We got another life. So last week we did Saturday. We do a lot of Saturdays. We do Friday once in a while. We do Friday sometimes. We do other times. We just do whenever we can get on, whenever I have the guest or something that it's time to talk.
Yeah.
Whatever
The question is,
bam, man.
does he have the run?
I want to thank
that
everyone
why
for coming.
Has to run.
And
Maybe.
I'm going to introduce
we'll hold the
my
fort
good
down.
friend Brian Mizaraka. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Pat?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Familiar.
Brian was one of my first guests on my podcast way back when I really started my podcasting.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the Tennessee days, and we did a show on older dudes and staying in shape, as I recall, right?
Who you calling an older dude?
Me, Brian, just me.
Okay. Anyhow, yeah, that's what the theme was.
Yeah, Brian is amazing. I tell Brian all the time, man. And I've done powerlifting just for fun. I did one meet and I loved it, and I would go back and do it again, just for fun. But Brian could waltz into powerlifting and just
not to scope out the other dude's packages and asses, Patrick.
I think you used to do what do you call that? CrossFit. Weren't you a CrossFitter at one time?
I did it for a little bit. And that's kind of what got me into lifting.
Yeah, because you have a CrossFit type of workout.
Yeah.
Think
about weight. Think about weight. Weight is addictive in the sense that okay, you can lift something, and now I just want to lift a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I just want to lift a little bit more, and then I just want my spine to fuse together.
Weight is dangerous, man. And Brian has done all the stuff. I've done powerlifting.
Why do they always have the same wall
squatting, bench pressing? You've done all that stuff. You've done Olympic lifting. You've done strongman, which is like the guys throwing the tires over and grabbing things and running with heavy things for a distance or whatever. Brian can do. Brian can do like
what an old
pop up into a
America's
handstand
not
and
sending
then
their
walk
best
the
against Japan.
Yeah.
No.
But I really like doing the stuff like like outside, like the surfboard. Like
yeah, he's got a surfboard behind him and then a boogie board, and he still surfs when he can't stop.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing like surfing because you're moving. You got to be really in the now to be surfing, because you're riding a surface that's moving and it's always changing.
Yeah.
Skiing's good, but skiing the snow's not really moving unless you're riding an avalanche. But when you're surfing, you're riding an avalanche, and that's what I like about it.
I think surfing is really cool. The idea of surfing is one of those things that there's a lot of things I do and I love, and there's other things that I love but I've never really done.
Yeah.
Like a Walter Mitty or something. I mean, I've never surfed, although I used to body surf, because we're both from Southern California.
Yeah.
I would body surf, not well, but I would do it. And when I was a kid, we used to ride rafts.
Body
a friend of
surf?
mine,
What the
and
fuck
we would
is
ride our
I'm gonna have
rafts
to Google that.
over the surf of Zuma Beach or Santa Monica Beach.
Yeah, you might want to look that up, Canucky.
And it was so much fun. But you still, not only does Brian, you still, when you can, you surf, but you also swim. You actually get in ocean swim still.
Yeah,
right?
open ocean swimming. I mean, it's along the coastline, but that's another thing that's really I love to do. Swimming is an all body type of exercise.
Yes.
So I'll swim a mile at a time.
That's
2 miles.
Did you find it?
How long does it take to swim a mile?
It takes about 40 minutes. I mean, there's some guys that can do it in
Body
20
surfing is the
minutes.
art and sport of riding away without the
Yeah, there's
assistance
some
of
guys
any
that are
buoyant device
you
such
put a
as a
fin
surfboard.
back
Okay, that's gay.
You really fly, but I'm just out there cruising.
You said about 40 minutes for you?
About 40 minutes for a mile. I think I did they have a peer-to-peer.
Yes, many more
Manhattan
metaphors
Beach,
for gay
both
sex,
the beach pier
Stavros.
and the Manhattan Beach Pier, and I think I did that like in an hour and a half. So yeah, somewhere around that.
I think it's cool. Have you ever been chased by a shark?
Nope, never been chased by a shark.
Have you ever seen a shark out there?
I've seen a shark skin diving, but never a shark swimming. And I swim in a place that's never had a spotted shark attack. I'm very deathly afraid of sharks. So
I'm in Florida here.
As you should be,
swim in the
despite what the
ocean
Shark
sometimes
Week
and love
retard,
it. I mean, it's warmer than California.
Sharks
which I
are
really enjoy. The
vicious
sand is
predators,
beautiful
and
white.
they
I'm not
will
trying to get
eat
jealous.
you if they feel
California's
like
got
it in the
got
moment.
great points too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's more.
Not to
shark
mention
attacks
that
here
your
than warmer
silhouette
water.
looks like a
for sure,
seal
for
from
sure.
underneath.
But I haven't seen any yet, although I got stung by jellyfish not that long ago.
Oh yeah. Big one.
And then I swam in the bay the other day, and the bay.
Bro,
has a lot of,
jellyfish
like, little
stings are
jellyfish.
actually
I'm
kind of
real
nasty.
Yeah.
And they have little crabs and stuff. But anyway, hello, just a nobody. Hello, Fabian came in. There's a lot of land sharks around. Guy, well, tell me about it. Land sharks. It just seems really hard for a human to fight a shark. Yeah, don't try that, just a nobody. Hello, Mind Over Energy, who's in the chat, holding it down for me again. Thank you, Mind Over Energy.
And Mo, abbreviated.
Mo, of course, Mo for short.
Mo.
Sergeant Francis is here. You're going to get eaten by a shark, Brian. Sharks get hungry too.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, by the way, that sharks don't get cancer. And I thought about that. And then people sell like shark cartilage or whatever. So people won't get, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think this is just my theory, but because they're shark people too. And I think that sharks don't get cancer because they're the predator. And I think people that get cancer tend to be the prey. I'm serious.
Always surf with
gets
a Bowie
worried, the
knife
prey
and a
gets
harpoon,
scared,
says dude, man.
and the
I am
prey
inclined
gets
to agree.
angry because they've been, what's the word?
Be prepared
can't
to
think of the word, but something's been done to
fucking
them.
fight
So
for your life.
I think it's
if you're gonna
easier for
engage in
the
that
prey
sport.
to get cancer. And that's just I've never heard anyone talk about this. It's just a theory, but I believe that sharks don't get cancer because they're the predator.
Wow. Well, I'd be the victim. That's for sure.
Anyway, thanks for everybody for coming. No, we're not going to talk about power. I love powerlifting. I love all the stuff that Brian's talking about, but we're not going to talk about that tonight.
Bonsai Quaff
Brian
says he
is
demands a
a
wrench,
good
otherwise Martin will
friend.
touch your
We've
pee-pee.
known for decades. We go back to the Roy Masters days together.
No, that was Jesse
we were
Lee
part of
Peterson.
kind of a small
He
group
touched
that used to
me.
get together. Kind of an
I'm a
activist
meat
group,
puppet.
call us. And we used to go out there and kind of fight the
Was it
powers
Jesse
that
Lee
be,
Pee-Pee
and we got
Toucherson?
together and we had barbecues. And
No, it was
talked
Jordan
about
Lee Peterson.
spiritual things. And
Ah,
stuff like that.
yes, Jordan Lee
And
Peterson.
And that's how we met. And then
We
we
gotta
also
make those memes,
worked
man.
together. Brian helped me
Yeah, for real.
learn some skills back in the day. He used to be a painter. I think you still do some painting.
At my house.
At your house.
Professionally.
You're right. We roofed together. Him and his
Matthew, my friend, ran a roofing business, and
your cousin David was part of that too.
Right. We were like a roofing crew.
Yeah, and you guys taught me roofing, and,
Yeah.
and I did good and I did bad, and that's how I kind of got screwed up too doing roofing too. But that's a whole nother story. But that changed. My whole life changed for a certain period of time. But that's a whole nother story. But we've been really good friends for a long time. Brian also, once Bond started, and Bond was an outgrowth of what Roy Masterson's Foundation
it was an
Human
outgrowth
Understanding we're doing.
of the Foundation of Human Understanding.
It was.
And they were all located in Los Angeles at the time.
Yeah, and Jesse kind of was given the nod by Roy Masters, so to speak. What do they call that? The thing on the shoulder where you tap the shoulder and give him the knighthood or whatever.
He got anointed, a little bit.
Anointed.
But I mean, Roy.
Yes, a Christian grifter got anointed by another Christian
go out.
grifter.
Bond was heavily focused at that time on black people.
Yes,
I don't know,
it was
man.
more focused that
I don't trust fucking
later on
Masters
wasn't as much
or his
that way.
people.
But Roy was in favor of that, and he liked that idea, and I think that's kind of how Bond got started.
It is.
If there was no Roy Masters, there would be no Jesse Peterson.
That's right. Roy let him. Roy literally let Jesse use his building to get started.
Yeah.
And meet with black men, because Bond started as a group for black men only in the early days. And here's what and so Brian became a great what's the word, supporter of Bond for a long time. Helped us do a lot of stuff. In fact, back when I was doing fundraising, Brian was one of those guys that helped us a great deal to get Jesse's Fallen State show started.
Yeah.
We raised money for that.
I know that. Well, it's like Martin Francis was, would say, like he's dead now. Like Martin Francis says, he's
still alive.
Yeah, you're still there, Martin, unfortunately. But I was kind of like all into it, in the sense that I was like, it's like I wasn't a halfway kind of a guy about it. Like I wanted something that I could get behind.
Yeah.
It looked like it was really going to make a difference.
Yes.
Because there were so many, there's so many phony organizations out there. There's so many phony churches.
Yeah.
But when you see something, and Roy gave it his blessing.
Seal of approval.
Seal of approval is like, okay, you know what? I don't really care that much about money, but if I could be helpful, I mean, it's like my dad says, money isn't everything, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a lot. It helps you do stuff, right?
Yeah,
it
it gives you freedom and power and things of that nature, at least physically, but not necessarily spiritually. Does it give
right.
But so I got behind Bond that way, and I donated as much as I could, really. I mean, I had a family and a house, and a mortgage and everything to pay for.
You did a lot, Brian.
Yeah.
You really did. And you really helped. And, Martin was like that too. He was a all-in kind of guy. And Fabian was like that too. Yes. Fabian was an all-in kind of guy. Martin is an all-in. You can tell people that seen these guys on our shows, they know what I mean. Their personality is all in. Yeah. I tend to be like that too. When I'm into something, I'm like all in. So I spent literally 20 years working at Bond and literally 30 years knowing Jesse. And I was all in at the time. I mean, I started as a volunteer. I did a little bit of, donating as well, but primarily I was a guy who was there every day, kind of doing the work. That kind of thing. That was my role.
It's been a long time. I mean, got married in 94. Jesse came to my wedding. You were at my wedding.
Yes.
I knew Jesse before that, obviously. I just didn't invite a stranger to my
Helmut
wedding.
says, last night my sleep paralysis
So I knew him
was Martin
before
Francis.
94.
He stole all my
I'd known
toilet
him
paper and
I knew you
drilled a
shortly
hole in my
before I knew
bathroom
Jesse.
door.
Yeah, so
Sounds like
we're
something
talking
Francis would
3
do.
decades, right? I
Jim
Yeah.
Tudor says
Yeah.
Martin
Well,
Francis
92 is
absolutely
when
an
I
all-in
remember.
kind of guy.
That's the first year I kind of remember being involved with
Dude,
Jesse
man
and
says
stuff,
all
and
in
the
twice.
foundation.
Keep
No,
saying
well,
it.
I knew about Roy and stuff from
Jim
about
Tudor says
late
all in.
84, 85 forward.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's when
knew. I knew
Helmut
Roy
Korskin, I say
75.
what?
Oh my
In
God,
the
really?
butt? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
think I'd
So
be walking.
did you do his meditation and all that stuff?
Yeah,
I
is
did.
this,
I did do it.
This is really
My
gay.
mom first did it.
Is this
Really?
is this
My mom-
just
Oh.
two gay guys flirting with each
Really
other
nice
on the
mom.
down low?
God rest her soul now.
Yeah.
Right? Your mom and
Trying to
I
meet
think
up
your
at the
dad and your
beach
mom are
for
both
that
passed now, is that right?
one-time
Yeah.
swim, maybe.
But I used to hang out at Brian's
I don't
house.
know,
We'd go there
man.
with him for
This
lunch
is
when we were
roofing.
doing
Yeah.
roofing jobs. And his mom was so sweet. Now you had issues with your mom, but what guy doesn't have issues with their mom? I guess.
Yeah.
But I could tell that she was a decent person.
Jim Tudor says
And-
Martin reminds me of a
Kind.
grown-up
She really
Jeeves.
She was a decent person.
Yes, really was. I know we got comments already.
With Down
Well,
syndrome,
Maybe
certainly.
we got George
But
P
yes.
in there. Was a former producer of The Fallen State. Who was the former producer of The Fallen State? Who are you talking about? I don't know. I don't remember who that was. Well, Kelly was, but she's Kelly's no longer there. Yeah. I told him Jesse used you. He did not disagree. Oh, about Roy. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, your mom was a decent person. I didn't know your dad. I'd met him maybe a little bit, but didn't know him very well.
Right.
No. My guess, George. My guess was not the former producer of The Fallen State. He was somebody who helped us raise money for The Fallen State when I'm going to blame myself for The Fallen State because I used to be Jesse's TV producer and his radio producer back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think it was my idea because I was pushing Jesse to get on TV because I believe he did well on TV because if he sounded a little harsh on radio, on TV, you could see him smiling kind of thing.
Right.
And his personality, if Jesse has nothing else, he has a personality that attracts people.
Yeah.
And I thought that would work on TV.
He has that kind of charisma that people will not turn the channel necessarily.
That's right.
And I knew things were, and at that time with The Fallen State, just before it started, everything was going that way. And I can remember asking you.
It looks like a radioactive surfboard in the background.
If I'm going to make a donation, what's going to get my biggest bang from the buck? And you were saying, yeah, you're right. It's going online with these online shows is what people are doing now.
Well, I would argue that with Jesse, for a lot of reasons, his old congregation is defunct. It no longer exists. It used to be a black congregation. They're gone. His old white or Hispanic or Asian or what have you congregation is gone also. So what Jesse has now turned into, for better or worse, is a internet personality.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is, if he is going to somehow, I think he's,
what's the natural
unless he gets into
outcome
other
for a
serious
man
kinds of
that
trouble, which we
preaches,
discussed on the show,
Christian
I think he
message
will be
but isn't
able,
Christian?
other than that, would be able to constantly get some new people from the internet because
He
the
gets the
internet doesn't
Christian message
require
wrong.
morality. It requires that you get their
People
attention, say funny
who
things.
Yeah.
Maybe rip a
Our
group of
Christians
people,
are going to
rip
find
women,
that
maybe
just
go after black
This
people.
guy doesn't speak
So
to me.
all you need is a tribe on the internet. You don't need Jesus or God necessarily. You just need a
Howard
tribe.
Stern. Howard Stern got plenty of people.
Howard Stern got
He's a low life.
Yeah.
Jim Tudor,
Fabian is
no,
thinking
but it
after
might be
listening
Scott
here.
Bakula's retarded brother.
You say he's dull. I agree spiritually with you, Fabian, but in a fun sense or whatever that people can kind of relate to, I think people enjoy his banter and his sense of humor and things like that.
It's turned into kind of a caricature now,
Yeah.
you know, rather than a deep spiritual thing.
Yes.
You know,
So-
he has his moments where he delves into the spirituality of it,
Yes.
but it's t-shirts with his face on it now.
Right.
Kind of, you know.
I am going to, here's what we're talking about today, guys.
Religion is
Cults,
kind of fucking
the
pointless.
replacement for the missing father. And to give you an idea, do I have the background here? I don't even know if I have the background. Here's the idea of what we're talking about. Well, let me get this off first. I'm making a mess of my show here. Let me take this off. Here's what we're talking about here. All right. This is, I know I've been overusing Jim Jones a little bit, guys, but the point is the missing father. Jim Jones knew how to use the idea of the father figure to a T. He really knew how to use that. And unfortunately, he used it to the death of something like 900 people. They went down and they were actually died with this guy. That's how far they went down with him. They went down with the ship. And sometimes people will go down with the ship. They'll follow the cult leader all the way down with the ship, unfortunately. So
Yeah, look at the
let
Nixium
me
people.
ask you what I want to talk about.
They
the
really
father,
fucked
first of all. We want to
themselves
talk
over
about several
defending
things
their
here
cult
that we
leader.
want to get into. But first of all, we talked last week. We introduced the idea of the father figure, and what I said last week was that, and I think this has been proven in many ways with cults, is that a person who gets
Elvis
involved with
says,
a
I
cult
wonder
is
how many of
looking
these
for the
homosexual
father
gays
figure
have
that they never had.
monkeypox. Probably all of them.
I had a father physically in
Severus
my
says he
home.
groomed you at
My
35.
father,
Okay,
he
loser.
had
Yep.
been beat up and damaged by life so much.
Jim
And he
Tuner
was an
says
older
Jim
man at that
Jones
time.
knew how to.
I mean, he was 53 when I was born.
What?
So you picture me getting to about the
Jim
age
Jones
of,
knew how to con
7, and he's 60
black
years old
people.
by then.
90% of
And
followers
he's not
were
60
black.
like
That's
me. I
correct.
mean, I'm like 62. You're like 64
Five.
or 5 now.
65.
He
Maybe.
specifically knew how to
But
con
now we've kind of learned a little bit more how to take care of
the
ourselves at an
products of
older
single
age.
mothers.
My father and your father, I think,
It's
at least my father was in
unfortunate
World War II.
when you
Your
don't
father
have
might
a
been
man in the
drinker, or which
household
war was he in?
to teach you how to be a
What-
man, to teach you how to
Our fathers
discern
go
when
way
other
back.
people are lying to you.
And the way that those guys
You
dealt
have to
with it, I
learn
think,
those
has
skills
gone
on
a
your
way in
own,
terms of
and not
being able to
every
talk about some
child
of the
is
things that are going
capable
on
of
inside of
doing that,
ourselves.
unfortunately.
That's one thing I think that's good about today's world. One of the few
So,
things that I think we've learned a little
boys who
bit.
have grown up
I mean,
without
the negative for
a
those guys
strong
is
father
they
figure will
they
generally
kind of
gravitate
internalized everything,
toward
and everything that
someone who
all the traumas
resembles
in
what
their
they think their
lives growing
father
up, and
should
all
have
their
been
traumas in
like.
the war, all the people that died around them, the best friends that
By the
died,
way, Einberg,
they
check
kind of like just brought it
general
all in
Discord.
tight, and they never really talked
All right,
about
one
it much.
sec.
My dad never talked
Dude
about
Man
it.
says
My
it was
dad
to
never talked
avoid
about it. My
responsibility
dad,
after killing that
was
congressman.
in the infantry.
Yes, that doesn't surprise me.
He was a decorator.
Stavros
in World
G
War
says
II
they
veteran.
have matching shirts.
Amazing,
he was a
right?
war hero. He
No,
received the
their
Bronze
shirts are
Star. He was
very
decorated for
divergent in
achievement.
color and
He was
shape,
Algeria,
but
North
they're certainly
Africa.
similar. They have the gay V-neck.
A cannon company, which is like a group of artillery.
Jim
They
Tuner
have
says if you don't have
carry
a
their
dad in the
munitions with them
house,
also, right?
you
So
join
there's
a gay rape
there's a big
gang.
munitions
Pretty
dump
much, Jim.
where they
Mhm.
have all these artillery
Pretty
shells
much.
and ammunition of all calibers, and rockets and everything, mortars. Well, they took where my dad was stationed. They took a direct hit, and the whole artillery dump began to blow up.
Yeah,
right?
you like the organization he's a part
Cartoon
of?
where kid
It's
lights a
great.
match, it goes into the fireworks stand, right?
We'll
Yeah.
Get this bit back into
reveal
fireworks. Well, that's what
that
happened.
one when
Well, my dad, while everybody else was running for
Pepe
their
shows
lives,
up. If
my dad ran
Lassie's
into
around.
it.
All right.
And
That's great.
no, it still chokes me up to talk about it. But
We
he
have a
saved the lives
teaser
behind
for
him.
you,
He
Chad.
drove
Wow.
them. Him
Prime
and he had two
created
people,
a
younger,
Jordan Lee Peterson
lesser
meme.
officers
He's the
than him. He was
founder of
commanding officer
Boner.
of a combat medic group. And
Get to see it whenever
they went into it, and
Lassie
they pulled
returns
guys
and
out of
Pepe
the
shows
exploding
up.
ammunition stuff.
Yep.
And
Send me the
he
link,
pulled off
says
Forrest
Cassie
Gump
Scott.
kind of thing, where
Yeah.
Forrest
Give
Gump
me
where he
one
goes and
second.
gets the guys.
Rockets and
Yeah.
mortars. This is
Forrest Gump
suddenly
got a
less
Congressional
boring.
Medal of
Yes,
Honor
I
for
like
being honored
rockets
by
and
Lyndon
mortars.
Johnson in the movie, but
Unless it's
Your dad didn't get that.
euphemism
my dad got the
for,
Bronze Star.
That's cool.
So he
Those
was
types
a
of
war
rockets
hero.
and those types
He
of
never talked about
explosions.
it. My dad had
Yes.
vertigo till the day he died, to the point where he had to lay down for an entire day because it kind of all the concussion and explosions kind of destroyed his inner ears.
Yeah, this is war. I mean, war destroys things. It kills people and it destroys things. Did
Yeah.
your dad have? I mean, you can tell me if or not if you want, but did your dad have drinking or smoking issues at all?
My dad had a problem. He did have a problem with drinking. He drank too much.
It's code
quite a
for
while.
butt sex, says
near the end
Stardust.
of his
Yes,
life,
most likely.
He backed off of it. The thing is, that had an effect on me. That definitely had an effect on me. The way I look at it, like you were saying, is everything kind of starts with your father. Even if you're born without a father, you kind of are
Alleged gay
something
preacher
missing
man,
all the
cannons and mortars,
So,
tomato,
Tomato,
tomato.
There's something there.
Yes.
And when I was a young boy,
Thank you for that, dude, man.
Young teen, I really looked up to my dad. I think that you should never really put a person on a pedestal, but I think as a young boy,
Groom on,
kind of
Patrick.
allowable.
Groom
Yeah,
on.
I don't know how you avoid that
Dinner.
as a
Yeah.
child.
That you kind of putting your dad on a pedestal.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And it's an interesting thing when I look back and I remember certain episodes with my dad. I can remember my dad telling me when I was about 5 or 6 years old that he wasn't my real father, and I was like startled. And he says, no, he told me he was just like my foster father, and that my real father was in heaven, and that it would be his job to help me find him.
Wait, how old were you?
Like 5 or 6.
Wow.
But he was my real father. He was my natural father.
Yeah.
But
How did you react when you heard that?
I thought it was very profound. I understood exactly what he was saying, and I agreed with it.
Wow.
And it stuck in my head that my own father's saying no. And I'm his son. I'm not adopted, but but it was like it rang true in my head that it's God is my real father.
That is,
and that stuck with me. But when I got to my early teens, I can remember that I started to see my dad's shortcomings. Before
you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But
you
I started
busted that in the Yellow Fresh Discord. Holy shit!
With me or with one of my other brothers. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and ironically became angry.
I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
For being angry at me, right? So the spirit was passed down.
Yes.
And
I'm here to lovingly love your ears.
Attitude towards him. It's like I demanded perfection from him almost because I had put him up so high.
Yes, more gay butt sex streaming. Be fluid.
That's interesting.
But he wasn't.
Helmut says all these mental gymnastics, all those mental gymnastics for not wanting to admit it you're gay.
Now I had this resentful spirit.
These people are lead level special. Yes, they are.
It just did. It became worse. I became corrupted. He didn't want to corrupt me, but he wasn't
corrupt these nuts.
I started judging him.
Dude Man says that's why child abuse is especially egregious. Yes, that's correct, Dude Man.
So did you know that was going on at the time? Like you could see yourself being corrupted?
I didn't. I you get lost in the anger. You get lost in the resentment. And it was a funny thing. What he had told me when I was 5 or 6, as I just mentioned, the devil now had intervened.
I'll be right back.
He was going to take
2 minutes.
where my dad said his job was to.
How many is there in total so far?
It was through my resentment. It was now leading me away.
I think we've done 6 or 7 streams at least on these guys.
Generating, going backwards, and I started generating, and it had a profound.
This Jesse Lee Peterson thing's getting drug out very much.
You didn't really notice it so much at the time.
Oh,
did you see yourself drifting into, I don't know, drinking or hanging out with the wrong people or anything like that?
But not drug out to the point that it becomes Cosbying for the record.
You don't notice it. You can't tell the forest from the trees. Kind of like you just hey, I'm better than him now. I'm not listening to my dad. I'm better than him. I'm going to rebel against him. And it's kind of like it's so immature. People hold on to that for their whole life.
Don't worry, I'll be your stepdad.
Right.
It's like you can never grow up as long as
only if you promise to beat my sister.
Grow up until as long as you're mad at daddy. So.
That's true. So when did you realize you were wrong? That you were wrong?
You think his father left because he knew how his child was going to turn out?
I had an attitude.
His father left because he definitely saw the gay in the air, as it were. It was like, I'm not raising this limp-wristed weirdo.
It was like it was crazy. I'm going to withhold my love.
Jim Tuner says Liam's Naruto murder dolls has raised $3,200 from 25 backwards. That is $128.
Until you realize that you're an angry man.
You were saying that generally to him without saying it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
At least one of those backers.
What age were you at that point?
If I remember correctly.
20, 30, 40, all the time. I was like that. I was. It was a bad scene. It was a bad scene, but I was caught up in a mentality that was wrong. It was tactically it was stupid.
So nobody in your life at that time kind of came to you and said, Brian, you're too hard on your dad here. You need to kind of back off.
No,
Brian, you're working your dad's balls too hard.
She would say, "Your dad loves you. You can't do this. Your dad loves you." I would hear Roy say it, and then I couldn't see the forest from the trees. It's kind of like became part of me. That's I had this attitude towards my dad.
So when did you see it? Did you stop at some point?
Yeah, I started to see it. I started to see it when my dad got sick.
And how long ago was that? I mean, not really that long ago, I guess, right?
No, it's probably about 20 years ago.
50, that long? Okay. I didn't realize. Okay, I got you. Okay.
My dad's been gone for a while, but when he started sick, he got pancreatic cancer. And,
did you feel guilty for hating him?
I felt bad about it. I felt bad about it, and I realized
about him was fucking true.
I realized how cruel I was.
Gotta let that shit
mean I was, and that meanness.
Ambrecht, I found us a palate cleanser for after this.
My dad was much better than I was.
If Elastic comes back,
the person I had contempt for.
Yeah.
Where you go?
In the end, he was better than me.
Toilet.
I don't want to compare myself to
probably toilet to fall asleep.
That's right.
And possibly shit all over the floor at the same time.
Than I was.
Good night, Elastic.
Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, so yeah, I was in a trap.
And so when he got pancreatic cancer, did you use that time in there to maybe make amends with him? In any way?
Jim Tuner asks, where is this
Right,
even
well,
going?
sorry.
What's the punchline for this
It was
guy's
a big
story?
thing.
When do we get to the gay sex? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know.
You told me you were sorry.
Dude Man says, I'm caught up in
Yeah,
a
I'm
mentality
sorry.
that is stupid and dumb.
Did
Yes.
did you feel like was there I don't know,
I
was
felt
there
it
a weight
helped.
lifted or anything? Was it like
A bit of it. My dad's, the love he had was because he loved us. He totally loved us, but he didn't know any better than what he was,
Yeah.
And so that counts for something. Even though he didn't know any better, that counted for something. So his love was kind of like a unifying love. My sister
Dude
was
Man
really
says
angry.
pellet cleanser when
And
this
she
ends.
said she
You're
was sorry.
assuming
She
that
said she
this
apologized.
ends.
And at the end, when he died,
Oh, yes.
it brought us all together,
Quick
Nice.
question:
And that
how
was a
many of
great
us have
thing. It was
facial
a really
hair?
great thing.
did your mother
I shaved a day and a
kinda
half
always
ago, so
keep
currently not
loving
me.
him, or did she fall into hating him as well?
I think she did a bit. I
Then
don't
the palate
completely
cleanser will
understand
not apply
my
to
mother
you.
and her psyche, so to speak. She was a doubting housewife,
Yeah.
She never worked. She lived at home, and she was loyal to my dad.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how much resentment she had for him, but I know she always wished she could get over
I want to bang my head into
whatever.
concrete now.
But,
No more the plywall. No
but
more the
what
fucking damn
happens, though, in your life,
wallpaper
when you're angry
or
at your dad,
drywall.
Is
Concrete.
you don't have a good
Is
relationship.
Jesse eating sandwiches tonight?
It creates
Not
a
that we
vacuum.
know of, Mr.
Yeah.
Tuner.
I had commented to you before.
Yes, he
Alma
does.
says, I
It needs
miss
an
Jesse
opening.
Milestone's
Or something
elevator music.
not so great.
Oh,
I am
God.
loath.
Fill that
I am
Exactly.
loath
Ding,
to
ding,
do all that
ding.
One of the
nonsense
things we want to talk
music.
to. I want to thank you, Adriana. That's very nice of you for supporting the show. Thank you very, very much. It means a lot. It means a lot to me. I appreciate that very, very much. So when your father died, did you feel relatively free at that point of the anger that you had? Or do you feel like you were free enough to move forward? And how do you feel at that point?
I was free enough to move forward, but I had a lot of regret for the way that I had treated him, and the fact that I couldn't go back and make it right, so to speak. I did, like I said, I told him that I was sorry. I told him that I was his son, and that I appreciated everything he had done for me, and made amends in that way. But I just, I had some.
Jim Tuners
I
is
still
giving
do. I have
Patrick
some nagging
$20
issues
is a
in
cry
the
for
sense
help
that,
from that woman.
God, you're meeting
Maybe.
this guy for so long. This
Helmut
guy was
Korskin says, how many
despite
crack
being
rocks do you get for
angry and
$20?
impatient,
Let's
and
find
yelling at
out,
my mom,
shall
stuff
we?
like that.
Let's look at the
He did his
crack
job
prices
as
in
a
where are
dad,
they?
you know.
California?
He didn't come up short that way at all.
I see those guys in that era as just fighters. Again, if you look back at your father's past, and I know this from my own dad, he had a
Study
really
from
screwed up family
2004
life.
that crack
He had
cocaine prices range between
he was
$18
Irish.
to
People ask me if I'm
$200,
Irish,
with the
Italian, or
average
whatever. Yeah,
cost
my dad
being
was Irish and my mother was
$109.
Italian. I think
I'm
for
the
you,
exact opposite.
the
My
opposite,
dad's
right?
Italian. My last name is Miseraca.
So if
Yeah,
we
you're-
assume the
yeah,
average,
Sicilian.
about
Dad was
$109,
Italian,
so
and your
no
mother was
crack
Irish,
rocks.
right?
My mother was Irish. My mother was a McGee before she was married.
Yeah,
You can always
Sicilian and
spot
Irish.
can always spot a Sicilian last name. They're like the worst names in the world.
And that was before
Gracchiolo.
inflation.
My
So
grandmother's name was Bomarito.
giddy up.
Bomberito. It's
Bomberito.
like it sounds like
Did someone
Bomberino,
say
the
that they
guy
wanted
on,
the
what was
Sim
that show,
City
Welcome
theme
Back,
again?
Maybe Bomarito.
Beanie Barbarino.
No.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, I just lost Brian here. I hope Brian comes back in here.
I can find it, you know.
I'm
I
lying.
will stab you. I stab you,
I lost you there
motherfucker.
for a minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
I'm gonna do it.
got a phone call.
Oh,
Don't
that's
you
what it is.
dare.
Yeah.
Well, those people, I guess, are getting phone calls or something.
But yeah, my dad was Italian. We were first, he was first generation. His parents came right there from Palermo, Sicily, and they had only been there 3 years when he
Apparently,
was born.
Patrick
He was-
had a
he was
father.
American. He was
and
actually my
turned
dad's
out
name
gay
his
anyway,
first name was
Stavros.
Victor,
Yes.
but he changed
Huh.
it. Excuse me, his
It's
last
almost
name
like
that
it
he was
runs
born
in the
was
family.
Vito,
Yeah.
but he changed it to Victor. He legally changed his name to Victor because he didn't want an Italian name. He could speak.
I'm going to ask
Italian,
that
broken
buddy of mine
Sicilian,
if the
it's not
tranny
really
you showed
good
me is his
Italian.
dad, by
Yes.
the way, Brian.
Because my mother,
I'm genuinely
Oh.
my
curious
grandmother
now.
definitely couldn't speak
Oh
Italian.
God.
Because
But he wanted to be an American.
his
Because
situation
remember, in World
sounds
War II,
curiously like my
we
buddy's
were fighting
tranny
each other,
father.
right?
So,
Yes, we
yeah,
were.
I have to ask.
Mussolini was a fascist. Yeah.
Right. He didn't want to be a Dago. He wanted to be an Italian, and he wouldn't.
You know what's going to happen, right?
Really?
What? Yeah. He said,
What?
"What are you? Are you?"
He's going
what's
to
your
be like,
nationality?" He'd
no,
say,
that's
"I'm
not
American."
him,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I
Yeah,
found a
That's what
date for him now.
my son. He
That's
was small. They said, I
possible.
think they asked him. Somebody asked him,
Stavros
what are
says they
you?
have lists for people.
Oh, they
like
asked him,
this.
what are you? Like, what color are you? You know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they
black,
do.
white. What are your color? Or what do they
Stavros.
say you are? And he said, I'm an American.
Jim Tuner says
That's what
Paul
my
is
dad
Patrick's
was,
father.
He
It's
wanted us to be American. He wanted us. He wanted to change our last name.
Yeah.
That's how American.
Yeah, well, a lot of people did that, and
yeah.
So the way I look at that generation, in a way, my parents had a lot of issues. They were not deep. They were not, at least in the way I would say is deep, in my little judgmental way. They didn't use the same deep words I could use, right? That didn't mean they weren't deep, but they just, in my
Gentlemen, I had a shameful
but
dinner.
they weren't.
I had McDonald's.
When he talks about his parents
their way of
being deep, is he
communicating. My dad
talking
didn't
about
communicate with
butt
me. He
fucking
didn't
them?
try not to. He just
Is he
didn't know
saying
how
that
to.
their anal cavities were
My
shallow?
mother would communicate.
I have
but
no
she would get
idea,
in my
but
business too much,
I'm
so I was always
concerned
pushing
what
her
John
away.
Cancel
and
had
that
fucking
kind of thing, like you would do it with your mother. And but I have to say, my parents had a
Why
lot of
did you
issues.
have
I mean, a lot
McDonald's?
of issues, deep spiritual issues.
Because it
Some
was
of them I don't
late,
think they ever
and I didn't want to cook.
recovered from or overcame
Also, that
in
shit
their
you told
lifetime.
me in DMs.
But one thing I will
Mr.
say for
Castle,
them,
I hope
I
that's
don't
true.
remember them,
I hope we
and they
see
had
that
their
video
times of
footage.
cruelty. My dad did. Towards
Oh,
me.
it's true.
But I don't
Very
remember him ever
nice.
being purposefully
Because him
cruel or
and Anna, that
or
Star
playing
Wars girl,
mental games
are
with me or things like that. I mean, I've
guests,
had
like
people in
our
my life
YouTube guests,
do things to
and a
me
buddy of
on a
mine
real
who's a
level that are
very
harder for me to
reliable
overcome
source
than
Right.
my own parents.
is going
because
to find him.
I think it was easier in some ways to
Well,
overcome
I
because
just mean, I
thought I
hope
was
he
doing the
does it,
best
and
they
I hope
could.
he gets
And I
that
guess you could
footage.
say
That's all.
to some extent
Okay,
everybody's
okay,
doing the best they
okay.
can, I guess.
Let me know what's
But I
going
guess some
on,
people are
please.
just so locked in that the devil has such a hold of them
Do you want me to
that
tell
I
him
think
I'm
they
Breck?
think that they're
Tell
doing
him.
good while they're doing evil or something.
All
I
right,
don't quite
Prime.
understand it.
Yeah,
A buddy of
completely
mine is
understand
going
either.
to
I
the
mean,
anime
my
convention
dad,
here
he was
where
of
I
the age where,
live,
spare the rod, spoil the
and
child.
Nick
Right.
Rekieta
And if you
is
mix that with
one of the
alcohol,
guests.
that could get a little
Uh-huh.
dicey, right?
And I'm
Yes.
and I called my buddy up earlier,
I had
going,
a few episodes like that.
while you're
You know,
down
he
there,
remember
look for a
picking
guy
me up
named
by
Nick
one leg and
Rekieta.
paddling me,
He
when I
should
was
be in the
a kid.
celebrity
Yes.
section
And
So
I
under
had similar issues
YouTuber,
with that as well.
and
I think a lot
have
of them are
him
alcohol
say
fueled because
on
these are
camera,
hard-living,
Liam Gray is
hard-drinking,
Liam
hard-smoking,
Ghey.
hard-living
Stop
kind of guys. They were
DMCAing people.
fought in wars, and when you fought in a war,
Subscribe to Velocity
all of
Affairs
the
on
people
YouTube and
around you, a
Twitch.
lot of that stuff is inside you, unless you are
Oh.
very, very
Oh, I
either
endorse this.
separate somehow or very spiritual. That stuff will get inside you, and you will pass it on.
Oh yeah, and you can imagine that my dad as a medic.
Yeah, Anna is
when he
there,
saw
Stavros.
combat medic, getting guys.
But you know
cut
who's
down
not
with,
there?
you know, a German machine gun.
Jim
fire.
Tuner says Anna
And,
plus Jesse.
yeah,
Hard, hard,
just
hard,
pump-
hard,
just
hard,
pumping
hard.
That's
people
right.
full of morphine
Jesse
until they
Milestone's
die.
not
Yeah,
there.
and they were doing that. Their job as they best saw fit to try to protect us
Yeah.
and the homeland, the people from
Stavros
the Nazis,
Stavros
from,
G says
from,
and Anna. It's
you
the
know,
hot,
from people
angry,
like
hot one.
we call Mussolini and
If I
Italy and stuff like
wasn't
that.
with my current girlfriend,
Thank you,
I
Brian.
would definitely lower my
ETMT.
standards for
Thank you
Anna.
so much for your donation. Man. I appreciate you guys tonight. I think they appreciate
Rude. I love it.
your story, Brian. I think what
Have
we're
you
talking
seen her
about here,
latest
I think
pictures?
is resonating with some people.
I have.
I think it's a lot of people's
As
stories.
John Castle?
I
It
really
is.
do. I don't think I'm unique in
I
any
don't think
way.
so.
Probably
Well,
people
hang
have
on,
stories that,
hang on.
Oh yeah,
would
yeah.
be able to
Brown
take.
CBR
Yeah, a lot
says
of people
Renfrew is
think-
starting shit
I've
with
seen it. I've
Anime
seen
Matsuri and the YouTuber
My
guests they have
story,
there. Yeah,
I
she does
told, and I'm gonna
every
tell
year.
tonight,
CBR.
And to be honest with you guys, my story is nothing. I mean,
Jim Tuner says they were
not
broken
hardcore.
hearts. Poor
It's not like
Jesse.
I was
All
raised by a
broken
coven
hearts,
of
gotcha.
witches and I was
Right.
sexually abused by.
I'll just
people
say
who
this: the
did
quickest way to
rituals,
Anna's
for
heart
a
is
long
through a
time or
bottle
something.
of
I mean, there's people
whiskey.
that have stuff like that. There's sex slavery, and there's people who are abused in a very mean way.
Yes, it's almost like
could be their
drugs and
stepfather.
liquor
A
are
lot
the
of times
easiest
it's
way
a
to most
stepfa- like,
modern women's
my sister,
hearts.
my dad was a
Unfortunately.
stepfather, not
But
to
when
me,
Lassie gets
but to my
back,
sister, my
we'll
older
show this
sister.
picture of
Her
Anna.
father
That way you
died when
guys
she
can
was
see
about
what the
8
hell's
years
going
old.
on with that.
And so my mother remarried my father.
You lying
And
hoes,
so
this
for
Stavros
her,
G.
my dad was her
YouTube
stepfather,
content
and she had
comments
a
are
very hard
scrolling a
time with
lot
my dad
slower
in
than
many
they are
ways,
on the YouTube
and
feed.
probably
Something's
had a
up with
lot worse than
StreamYards
me. Anyone
today.
that has a stepdad probably has a
On
worse
my end,
situation
I'm
to
seeing
start
the
with.
comments come up
Yeah.
on
And a lot of
StreamYards
times the
and
stepfather
hardly
is
any
only
on
trying to
YouTube.
curry favor with the mother, and is
Yeah.
really not paying attention
It's
to
weird.
the mother's child.
Yeah, he's just the child's kind of like just collateral.
This is
you know?
just
Yeah,
very
collateral. And
strange.
sometimes, not always. Sometimes there's a good man there. So
Jabba out here
for me, I was
testifying
somewhat.
us with this.
Yes,
End
I
this
had my
stream
situation
right
I went
now.
through that I told you guys about, and
Yes.
you know what?
Oh,
Honestly,
by the way,
even
Jabba, did
the
you hear
sexual
it?
stuff for me
Testify was
that
at the
time being a
convention
kid,
today.
it was like a one-time thing, and it really wasn't
It's
like I
amazing.
wasn't like beat up or anything like. It was,
Jim
like,
Tuner
it was
says
to be
Jesse
honest, it
and
was basically
Anna greater
kids
than
screwing
Jesse
around
and Ape.
and corrupt children.
I'm
who
not sure
were
what he
made that way
means by
by their
that. Do
corrupt
you know
parents
what he
who were
means influenced by that crap?
angry,
Yes,
alcohol drinking,
apparently a black guy,
porno, into
a
porno
very
and
big
stuff like
black
that.
guy.
Corrupt. There is a. I'm not saying it was nothing, that there was no evil going on. There was evil.
No.
But I'm saying what happened to me was a shock, and it was not good. But yet, again, I wasn't beat up. I mean, there's people who were sexually abused and repeatedly sexually abused, repeatedly beat up.
Yeah.
And they had step parents that were afraid of. They could go to bed at night being afraid of their step parent.
Right. Can you
And
imagine?
we didn't have
I
that.
can't
I'm
imagine.
not doing
can't
just
imagine.
testify.
I can't imagine
I
either,
am
and I know a lot of people
serious.
have.
You
So,
need to
and
end
then
this
even when I,
stream,
my
says
stuff growing
Java.
up, I got into certain things because I had issues, and I
Well,
got
I'm afraid
took
we
off the wrong
can't,
way and all
Java.
that.
But
The
what,
man
but,
at the
go
wheel
ahead,
is
go ahead.
currently
No,
not
it's
present.
okay.
No, but what I'm saying is
He may
Yep.
have run off in a
that
fit of
episode of your life when
diuretic
you were young,
fucking rage.
it had an effect on you.
Yes.
Welcome
But
to two retards.
Not to the
Any
extent
car.
that, well, you
Well,
became
3
a
retards in a
homosexual.
tiny
Okay,
car.
that you
Yes.
became gay.
He's
But
the
it did
passenger,
open-
Einbrick.
It let
Fair,
the door open.
fair.
There was a proclivity, perhaps, that a residue of proclivity that you were susceptible to.
You know
if
what?
the right person came in, a father figure, so to
Yes.
speak,
Holy
then
shit, these guys are so
you could be
boring.
preyed upon because of that.
I don't think you're right. I don't think homosexuality. I don't claim to be some expert on it, but I don't think
You
in
are!
general it is a sexual thing to start with. It's spiritual, and I believe it has more to do with either the. Again, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but
No,
either the hatred of,
it's a quirk
or
of
I
the
would say
brain
what
chemistry,
opened the
you
door for
retard.
me was
You're-
that
Something
not
happens
having
in the
the
brain
relationship with my
chemistry,
father,
and it fucks
Yeah.
with them,
that some men
and it
and
makes
including me to
them
some extent, was
primarily
looking for
attracted
another
to their
father.
own sex. It's
And
not
so
That
normal.
vacuum I was referring to.
Yes.
But it's
So
an
the
That
fact,
vacuum's
aberrant
going to
brain
get filled.
chemistry
It's going to
issue.
get filled one way or another.
Something
it really
causes
will.
the
And
brain
now,
chemistry
yes, there are evil
aberration,
people
but
in
we
this world,
don't know
and
what
yes, they will
causes
take
the
advantage of
aberration.
what you're looking for. I understand that. I've had to deal with that, and I fell into that, and I had a lot of resentment for that.
I know
for a
what
long time.
does. William
And
Gray's brain tear.
still, to this day,
Einbrecht,
honestly,
how do you feel about Mike and Ike?
if I start thinking about something too much, it'll
I
start
love Mike
bleeding
and
out
Ike,
in anger.
especially their
So
hot
I'm not
tamales.
claiming to be like 100%, no anger, no
Right.
nothing.
Okay,
I
now
think
how
I've
do you
done,
feel
like,
about the
amazingly
candy?
well and better, and my life has gotten so much better. My family life is so much better. But I know that it's not good for me to dwell on
Their
thinking
hot
about
tamales
what someone's
candies are
done to
really
me.
good. I
Just
don't
it just
remember what
tends
the
to-
fruit flavored
anytime
ones
you start
taste
thinking
like.
about
It's been a long
what
time
someone's
since
done
I've
to
had.
you put yourself in a victim category.
Oh,
Oh, they just
the
put the
idea of
lime
here.
back
blaming
in.
people,
They
when
just
in
put the lime back
reality, I
in
would say it's
Skittles.
closer to a person filled a vacuum in your life. It's kind of like
Who
getting
knew a
cancer or
story
something.
about alleged
I
gay,
had a
gay grape
susceptibility
amongst
because of the
Christians,
lack of
preaching not to
relationship
be
with
gay
my
could be
father and
so
a bad
boring.
relationship with my
Yeah,
mother.
pretty much.
But
Yeah,
there was a susceptibility
Did you
there
see Pepe
that
Silva's comment?
already was built
Pepe
in.
Silva
So by the
says
time I had a
people don't
molestation,
realize how bloated
Yeah.
that
social
wasn't the
media is
starting
and
point,
how
as I
fake
said last
famous
week.
Right,
people,
right.
how
Was not the
fake
starting point.
famous
The
everyone
starting
is
point
now.
was the lack
YouTube
of
famous equals
relationship with
Walmart
partner.
reader now.
And
Twitter
so I
famous
accepted
equals
susceptibility,
Diet Bath
and
and
then as I
Body
got
Works.
older and didn't fix the problem
handing
or
out
didn't
coupons.
allow
Yeah,
God
pretty
to
accurate actually.
heal me
Right.
before I
pretty
became an
accurate.
adult, I got to a
Stavros,
certain
and
age
I
where
just
I
made a
still had that
defensive
gap
statement.
there where someone could
Details.
see it in me
Stavros
and they
G
preyed
says,
upon
I
it.
still
And
haven't
that's
heard
really
a
how it
point.
happened.
It's
like
kind of like a
depressed
spiritual
chicks
mathematics,
droning on and on. That's
Um,
correct.
Sometimes you
Stavros,
get
it
lucky,
is.
and sometimes there's a person
I wonder
that
if
you
the
put
Mike
on
and
a
Ike
pedestal.
candies are
They
named
might
after
be a
the
benevolent
two
kind of person. I
most
would
famous people
say
to known to beat
Roy Masters
things.
from the Foundation of Human Understanding was that kind
Maybe.
of person that a lot of people put him on a pedestal.
Mike
They did.
Tyson and Ike Turner.
He didn't want it.
Right.
He shut down his church because people started
Some
calling
people will
Oh.
say that he did.
So,
I'll hear
like
people say,
Turner.
and I don't think he did want it either. Although in effect he became that way to people,
Yeah, he
many
did
people,
it.
because that's where they put him in that position. So he
Right,
automatically
Java
became
says
that.
not
Exactly.
only are these
I
people
had to
boring, but
protect
you often
myself
speak
from
over them,
being
making
or
80% of
feeling
the
that way
stream
towards him.
unbearable
I
to
remember I
listen
used to
to.
call, always
That's
call him,
correct, Java.
when I caught myself kind of like idolizing.
When we
or
can't
focusing
pause
too
it,
much,
this is what
I would always
happens.
then.
Well, we have to also
refer
make
to
sure
him
we
as
talk because
Fatso Roy Masters.
if we don't,
So it was
then
kind
it's
of
not
like
To kind
EFAT.
of throw an insult into it to kind of
We're
knock
doing
out the
Creative
power
Commons
of-
by
yeah,
actually
yeah.
giving an
And
opinion
then
of what they're
so I
saying.
would always say Fatso Roy Masters, but
Right.
I respected the guy. He was a decent, a very decent.
I just
person. He had a
enjoyed
lot of
being
insight,
here.
He sure did.
You know, like
I
but you
would.
could do that with Rush Limbaugh. You could
Yeah.
do
Is that
with,
before
God
the
rest his
or
soul.
after the
You could do
girlfriend
that with
allows you to
anybody.
be
You could do
here?
that with Elon Musk or Joe
It
Rogan
doesn't.
if you wanted to.
It doesn't
During.
matter in a way if the person is good or if the person is bad. Now, yes, it
Pepe
matters
Silva
because if you
says
get involved with a
60%
bad
of
person,
internet
they
traffic
can.
is bots.
But if
Once
you get
the
involved with a
economy
good person and you
collapses
put them in that
and
role,
corporations
they
can't
might as
afford
well
the
be
bot
bad
farms,
because they're in that role. For
people
you.
will freak
Yeah,
out because of
yeah,
how
we're
dead and
goddess.
lifeless the internet will feel.
It's so simple,
I
Brian.
suspect
It's
it
so
will
simple, but
be
somehow, and this is why
much
I
more
wanted to see the
interesting
church
place
get back
because you
to,
don't have the bot
even like with
comments
the Roy
flooding
stuff.
in.
And I've said this for a long time.
Yes,
I
and I'll be arguing with a real person. person for once.
People talk about, you can.
Oh,
do a
and to
show
answer
with
your
different
question,
people
Prime,
looking for
it's
answers.
just so I
I don't
have
want to be the
audio
answer giver.
recording
I don't think
for
that's
their
our
judge.
job. Now, maybe you can give someone advice. here
Does
and there,
Alassi,
I get
Java
that.
says, does
But you got to be
Alassi just
very
start these
careful about
streams
giving
and go to
advice. You
bed?
got to be
Nah,
very careful because you
probably.
will be looked on as the source.
If by
right?
going to bed you mean
And
falling
people will say,
asleep
"Oh,
on
this
the
person has
toilet.
wisdom. What do
Yeah.
they think about this?" And whatever
Right.
they think, I'm going to hear what they say, and then whatever they say, I'm going to do it. Well, first of
Tuner
all,
says you could
be
do it
wrong.
with Elon Musk.
And also,
Musk
if
or
you're
Rush
wrong, the
Limbaugh.
person's going
What
to
is
blame
this?
you if they take your advice and it goes south.
We
for
don't
you.
know.
Yeah. That's why if you lead anybody, you got to.
Y'all seen that picture of Elon Musk
Yeah.
shirtless,
gotta
right?
lead back
No.
to
Yep.
the Holy
Well,
Spirit.
the one with him at the
Prayer.
beach.
You've got to
Yep.
do that,
No.
or else
Well, if you ever
else
see it,
you're in a position that you should not
just
be in. with
think
that
of
person.
where the
That's the
inspiration for the
relationship we have
shape
to
of
have
the
with other
Tesla
people.
truck came
Is
from.
that how can I facilitate you? How can I be effective in you coming back to yourself?
That's
Come
all
back-
it is.
That's all it is.
This is
People
nonsense.
ask me what I think about something. You know, I tell them I'm stupid. I don't know anything. I'm as dumb as a rock. I'm dumber than OJ. I mean, really, really stupid.
You know,
if anything happens right, it's from the glory of God.
yeah.
I
So they're
surrender
self-admitting retards.
to,
Okay.
thinking my way out of things.
Right.
It doesn't. I never could. Never can. It's all an illusion.
Yeah, I think that's cool because there are times where I fall into that. I'll be doing a show, and then before the show, I'll start to just meditate or be
Yeah,
quiet
this
or
is more
whatever, which is
boring
good.
than usual.
You know, it's just nice to chill out and then do a show, right?
Patrick
More
Rooney
relaxed.
picked a guest
But there
that
are thoughts
is
once in a
just
while
as
come in,
boring as
like,
he
oh,
is.
you need to have an answer for.
I'm
your
just waiting
JoJo
for them to have a
coming.
CNN
And then,
moment
the
where
answer to
they,
that is no, you don't need an
or
answer
one of
for
them
JoJo.
gets caught
If an answer
cranking on
comes through you and it
screen.
just comes out of you, fine. or
That's
something,
why I
that's
wanted to
great.
eat
But
fat when they were
generally
live
speaking,
on
you
Brit
want
because then
JoJo
I
to
could
go
have made
back
some drama.
to himself, sit quietly, and find the
Indeed.
answer for himself.
Right.
Without Martin,
Right,
they are
for sure.
boring as shit.
By the way, hello, Brian Pombo, my friend.
Well,
Brian
without
Pombo,
Martin and
who is
Fabian, because they're the ones
who
that
is
make the
a
retarded statements on
business
the
guru
live
and also
stream.
a guy who's doing a lot in the field of helping individuals get their communities back together. I want to talk to people in the future about that as much as possible. It's not just about us and learning some spiritual stuff. It's about overcoming and helping our families, helping our communities, and helping our country. There's a lot of people that need help today, and I don't want us to just be sitting around, talking about how many angels can dance on the head of a pin kind of thing. I want us to help.
Lassie, return to us, you degenerate.
Yes.
Flush
Adriana,
already.
we put people on pedestals. We are always looking for a leader, but we should be seeking.
Now, how do you know he just ran out of
I
toilet
agreed.
paper? Right?
I was just
You
like
gotta go
today,
get
just
some-
realizing how simple stuff is. Just like
This is why you take
all we really
your
ever had to really do was
streaming set to the bathroom.
allow God to love us.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
Just
It's
allow
Or
ourselves
tell
to
people
be
you're
loved and accept
tell
the
people
gifts
you
that
just
He
dropped
gave
a
through His
fucking
Son.
tub of
Right.
We
coins
could
into
be-
a loaf
that we
of
could be
oatmeal.
sinners and that we could be
Repeatedly?
Just keep
come
in
back to
mind,
Him
I
and
do
we'll
this
have
for my
to be forgiven.
phone.
We could just live. We don't
I
have to
think we
do
have an
anything. We just
hour
have to-
more for this fucking stream.
Oh, I know.
You just have to be shown.
I
God.
checked the duration on it.
I used to think, I need God's help. I don't need God. I hear God, I'm going to rebuild the engine. Can you hand me the wrench? Just stay over there until I need you, right? No, I need Him to do the total rebuild. I don't need Him to help me. I need Him to pick me up and carry me.
Right, do the whole work, right?
Yeah, because I'm just too stupid to do it by myself or to do it at all.
You remember that corny poster they used to have during, like, what was that, the 70s or 80s, where it would say, it'd show this picture of like a guy, somebody walking footprints on the sand, I think they called it.
Yeah.
And then they said, I can see
Oh
my
God, I'm not
footprints
even
on
going to
the sand,
begin
God.
written.
And then I asked for your help.
That's
and I
fundamentally
couldn't
no.
see
I'm going to do it
footprints
anyway.
anymore,
That's
something like
fundamentally
that.
contrary to what the fucking Bible says.
God
The
would say,
Bible,
well, that's when
God
I picked you up
specifically
and just
states in the
carried you. There
Bible
were
that
no
He wants you to work
footprints.
hard.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else is an illusion. You need God to carry you through everything. The way I look at it, we're as human beings, not to divulge too far.
Now,
from the
see,
story,
in the
but
case
I
of
think the
Patrick
subject matter,
Rooney,
as human
it's
beings,
one set of footsteps and another set of tracks of
God needs
knees.
to with the Spirit. We're a conduit for something. We're a conduit for good or an evil.
Continue says Patrick. Listening to you argue about angels dancing on
dreamed
pins
this
would be more
I mean,
exciting.
we're the masters of our destiny and all that kind of crap. It's like, no, not even close.
I don't worry about a lot of stuff I used to worry about, Brian.
Yeah.
My life's got a lot simpler than it used to be.
I swear to God, I gave up on it. I look at human beings like
Don't
we're mirrors.
swear to God.
We're either
That's
reflecting
heresy. You're not supposed to do
light
it.
or
You're not supposed to
darkness.
swear on the Bible.
Like we
You're
got
not
mud
supposed to
all
swear
over
in
our mirror.
Jesus' name, and you're not supposed to swear to God.
He was a mirror, but he was perfectly pristine, clean.
Yes.
No index, no streaks at all. And so when you looked at him, you saw God, and he said that if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, because he was a perfect reflection of his Father in heaven.
I think if any of us that try to become the guru, the leader, whatever, if you're doing anything but facilitate people to bring in their
the primary means of
and their
speaking,
testimonials
man,
and
is
things like
indeed
that,
to pass on
I think
knowledge.
you get on very shaky ground.
Yeah, I agree.
Hello, Tony Bruno. Salute, fellas. T1 Surfer. All right.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know if we need to go any further. I
Jim
mean, you had
Tuner
things you
says
want
these
to
are
talk
homeless
about,
guys. They
and
don't
we
know
talked about
anything
red
about
flags. We
Christianity.
talked about different
Probably.
things. I don't know if we have to bring up anything,
Nothing
or if anybody
whatsoever.
wants us to bring up anything. I had a video that I was going to show.
When things
but
are going
it was
wrong in
just
my
the
life,
stuff.
I
I don't know if it's
usually think
appropriate.
of some
I
of
don't
the
even know if I want to
people
bring it in.
we
But it's
EFAP
nothing
and
you,
go, at
other
least
than
I'm not that guy.
Brian, you want to deal with, or anybody else does, because other than that, I don't need to stay. I'm good. I don't.
Oh,
really
I
have
know
to
what John
deal with the
Council
grumps at an
does.
hour. I'm okay.
What?
You show these fucking
I wanted to
videos
touch
to your
on
girlfriend and say,
Jesse
see,
a little
see,
bit.
I'm
Okay,
not
go
as
ahead.
retarded as
You know,
them.
I take the subject very
Oh,
seriously.
you know what?
What?
And again, you
Bro,
were, back there, and you were a
she
helper, and you did a lot
listens
of
in
stuff.
live.
And you also had a meeting and all that.
Oh.
So take it.
Oh,
go ahead, Mike. I'm
no.
sorry. Go ahead.
She sits right
Yeah,
next to me when
I
I'm
was gonna
doing this
preface
shit.
it by saying
Oh, no.
I take the
She
subject
eyeballs me very
talking about
angrily.
another person
You
and
are whipped,
you know,
sir.
spreading rumors and lies about a person. I take it very seriously. You know, in the Jewish religion, they
Is she afraid
not
you're
a
going to
Jew
mention something about
or a
her?
Catholic, but they
Probably.
consider spreading lies and rumors about somebody the
And
same
I
as
like
He-
having
you murder that
sex,
person.
so I
Because you're
do
taking
what she
something
says.
from them, and things that you say, they kind of can't be taken back. You know,
Right.
there's always something lingering. Well,
And
this
like I
person was
said,
accused of this.
I have audio evidence.
I do take
Oh,
it very
no.
seriously, and I didn't want anything you said.
Remember,
when you
boys,
came out
work
with your
smarter, not
series
harder.
of blogs and
Yes, indeed.
your posts and your
The
videos. I
judge
didn't
will be
want
in
to.
contact.
I was hoping you had lost your mind. I was hoping that everybody else was out of their mind too when the others started coming forward.
You can't
And
lose what you
I was
never
hoping it was
had.
some grand conspiracy, but it wasn't. There was no motive for you to do what you did. There was every motive to not do it. Really, you've got a family.
Yeah.
Period. Enough said there. So when I talk about Jesse, I do it with, I don't want to say trepidation, but I'm
50
careful
minutes
what I say.
in, and we finally get to
And
Jesse now.
I approached
This is like the fourth or
I
fifth
made
time they've
obvious what
mentioned
you were
him in
saying,
passing.
and I called you immediately after I wrote the blog. I called you personally, and I told you I believed you. I just did. I don't know how I know, but I knew you were not lying. And after that, I called Jesse. I says, Jesse, you know what's going on here, right? You know what's coming forward. And he says, yeah. He goes, past. He's mad at me. Yeah, he's mad at you. Okay, is it true? I don't care if he hates you. I don't care if he hates your guts and he's got a notch on his gun all ready to kill you. That's irrelevant. It's immaterial. Is it true? This is why I don't talk about stuff like that. You know, you have to go to the person and apologize. Well, what are you talking about? What do you have to apologize to him for? He says, I didn't say I did. You know, it's just like, I don't even go into that subject matter. And so I says, you know, this is not going to go away, right? This is not going to go away. And I says, I'm just telling you right now, I believe Pat. And he says, well, you got to do what you think is right. That's what he said. So
Well,
I don't think
Gordon
he thought
Martin
anything
has
was gonna
gone
come of
away
it.
since what,
then it started to
2012?
grow. It started to get bigger. Other people came out. You know, Martin Francis came forward.
Jim Tuner says, and you know that Martin is probably sacrificing goats in the
and then,
backyard
you know,
tonight, most likely.
Samuel.
However, it says, I can see Martin doing that. B. Cluett says,
Robert
Martin is just caught in
things
a
of that
spin
nature.
cycle of,
And,
it's not my fault. Yeah, more or less.
It started
He's
to get
pleasing.
thick.
He's pleasing the
Still
demons
wasn't
in his
like,
forehead.
Viral.
Yes.
And so
You know what I find funny about all this?
John Sandner,
We're not even
Robert
focused
Sandner's
on Jordan
father,
Lee, Jesse Lee Peterson.
and
We're not focused on Patrick
also
Rudy.
very
We're
helpful
focused on
respond.
Martin.
you know, as far as
Martin.
Well,
donation
these guys,
and money,
these guys are fucking
very
boring.
instrumental in
Like
helping
Patrick,
John.
he says retarded shit, but he's
wanted
not
a meeting
funny.
with Jesse.
Brian
Martin's
is just,
doing meth in the other
Robert-
room.
His father. His father's, you know, needs
Yeah.
help.
Brian
he's
appears to
older.
have
He's a big
daddy
guy,
issues to this
and-
day.
but he's had a stroke before. But he's got
He
his wits
talks
about
like
him.
he's
John Sanders
forgiven
has
his
wits
father.
about him.
Yes, he does.
And so he wasn't going to stand by. But
Dude Man says,
he was
so kebabs
sympathetic
at Martin's
to
place?
Jesse
Yes,
in the sense
most
that
likely.
he didn't want to also believe these things.
Right.
It's like my cousin David described your stories as a very inconvenient revelation.
Yeah.
They were very inconvenient. We were in the middle of a whole bunch of crap. There was COVID. Then
Yeah.
we had Biden in office.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of stuff. And then all of a sudden, okay, Pat's got to throw this in.
Yeah. By
You
the
know?
way, John Sandner told me, this older man, that's Robert Sandner's father. He was angry with me for bringing this stuff in.
Yeah.
He was really bothered. He was saying it was hateful, the stuff I was saying. He was
Yeah.
saying Jesse's telling all these truths and you're messing the stuff up. He was very angry with me. Although I will have to tell you, the first call I got from John, he was telling me, because he'd been involved in different things with Bond, trying to
Oh
help us on the way
no,
back. And
the
John told
shit on
me
Martin's forehead is
that
monkeypox.
John himself got into disagreements with Jesse, where he could see that he
It
was
probably
way off.
is.
Yeah.
But he said that every time that John came to talk to me about these things, that I always took
Jim
Jesse's
Judas,
side.
Martin is in line at the
Every
methadone
single
clinic tonight.
time. to
Oh
the
yeah,
point
Prime,
where
you
John
laughing
told
just
me to
reminded me. My
stop
girlfriend says
coming
every
to
time
me
you laugh,
because
you remind her
I
of a
was
seagull.
brainwashed and was simply not ever
Well,
going to
tell her
That
that
versus
I'm
the
just a
fucking
whale and
surfboard is
laughing at her
cringe.
fat
So
ass.
is the wood
about
thing
his
on
interactions
Patrick's
with
wall.
Just want
Right.
to throw that. Just want to throw that in there.
Okay, that's it. That's very interesting. But so a meeting was, how can I say, allowed by Jesse between me and John Santner, and Robert Santner brought him there. His son
Right.
brought him there. And I can remember it was a rainy day. It was just not long after all this stuff started to break. And I told Jesse that I believed that what Pat was saying was true. What Patrick Rooney was saying was true. And I wanted to hear his explanation. I wanted to hear him say, no, it didn't happen. Pat's just mad at me. He's got a vendetta against me or something like that.
Beak Lewis says,
And
did
he wouldn't
Elassie's
say
internet
it.
fall asleep
He
on the
wouldn't say it.
toilet too? Sometimes it does that, Beak Lewis.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of different things. One thing that he says was, Brian, do you have any anger inside you? And I says, yeah, I still have some anger. I can get angry. A person could make me angry if they knew what buttons to push. And he was saying, well, then how do you know what you think is true about Pat? How do you know Pat's telling the truth? How can you know anything?
Wow.
If you have the spirit of anger?
Brian looks like his anger comes on his
I
back.
can see how a person is really angry. Their judgment is impaired, right? But some things are so intuitively obvious that you can actually see certain things. But he gets you on a technicality level.
Right.
You're angry, so nothing you see is right.
It cuts out anything you say if
Yeah.
anger is ever brought up. It's like that pushes away anything that anyone ever has to say if there's any anger that's involved whatsoever.
So like, well, Jesse, maybe I just ought to throw myself off a cliff. I got some anger.
Right.
And I says, the way I see it, Jesse, I see it that you've got something driving you that maybe you don't even understand. Maybe you were molested as a child. Maybe something's going on in you, and you're just being driven by compulsion more than by thinking. But I believe Pat, and I don't believe that someone who has these proclivities can run a church.
Yes,
This
Jim
is
Tudor's
a
right.
church, right? This isn't some
So
poker
Jesse is
club.
guilty because he told Brian not to be angry at Patrick.
And
More drug
He
logic.
says, well, I'm just Jesse. I'm just Jesse. I don't want anybody to put me on a pedestal. I'm just Jesse. I said, no, you're a guy that claims to have no sin.
Yeah.
You are the minister here.
Yes.
You are operating under the color of authority.
I
Right?
think that's
You
Brian
have a
phrasing it
position.
poorly. I think
Yeah,
he
whenever
means
there's
he meant to
the
say
fallen
that
state
he
or
told Brian
your-
not to be
your church
angry
services, you always have the
in
last
general.
word,
Otherwise, he
what
can't
you think. You ask
accurately
people
assess what
other
Patrick
people
is
think, and then
saying.
at the end, it's okay. This is really what the bottom line is.
Right.
Right?
Yes,
I mean,
emotions
it's
are a
kind of like
hell of a
everybody else
drug.
got the wrong answer.
Right.
Flip the cards over. Here's the real person.
Right.
I mean, this is the real truth.
The real answer. Yeah.
I got the real truth here. And I'll tell you what,
You ever argue with a
he
woman
said a lot of good things.
knowing that
Yeah,
you're
a lot of
right,
people.
but she still wants to
But
make you
I
wrong?
asked Jesse, I said, look,
Yes,
if you're just
frequently.
saying
It's
you're
called
just Jesse,
having a brain
could a
damaged
murderer run a
parent.
church? Let's say you're a mass.
Stop getting into my personal life.
You're a Jeffrey Dahmer. Can you run a church too? And he said, you know what he said
Get
to
a
me?
Probably said
prenup.
yes.
He says, I'll have to think about it. He actually said that.
Don't
Because
need
I
a
don't
prenup
know.
if the brakes stop
wow.
working.
It's like, you have to think about that.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said,
It's a joke
a drug
for
pusher
legal
cannot
purposes.
run a drug rehab.
Let me guess.
Right.
She gave you the eyes, didn't
They
she?
just can't, Jesse. I'm sorry.
Right.
What?
And so
She
then
gave you the
that was going
eyes,
nowhere with me,
didn't she?
with Jesse. So
Yeah.
he talked to John Santner.
Possibly.
John Santner.
Uh-huh.
John Santner like a bulldog.
Well, I mentioned a
John Santner did
prenup,
not
and they
let go.
always go.
Jesse,
What do you
John's
need
like that. He has
for?
a background as a salesman.
okay, he's focused because he
Yeah,
talked.
he's
He
focused
said,
kind of guy.
Cool, she left the
he said to
room.
Jesse, he goes, are the allegations that
Bitch.
Patrick Rooney said about you online
What
true?
is this insanity?
And Jesse said, who
Believe it or not, gentlemen, this is what I consider
Jesse,
therapy.
tell me, are the
Laughing
allegations
at
that Patrick
retards?
Rooney You use your full name all
That-
the time. The allegations that Patrick Rooney
Yeah.
said online,
It's cheaper than going to a therapist.
Yeah,
I need to
therapists
know.
aren't worth the fucking money
and I'm
anyway.
like raising my hand.
I've been
Yeah.
to a therapist
Jesse's
7
like,
times in my
"What do you need
life,
to
and
know
it was
for,
a
John?
waste of money
What do you
every
need to know for?
fucking
You're
time.
nosy." And I'm
Why
like,
did they kill themselves
"Ooh,"
immediately
and I'm like,
after?
Epstein, and welcome back home.
No, I'm not that
Now,
fortunate. That would have been
John
a
needs to
funny
know 'cause
outcome.
he's dedicated his time and his money to you, man.
That
if you're a
just-
fraud,
it was a waste of my
no.
time and effort.
That's one thing
Therapists are
where he's
fundamentally
gonna know.
useless human
And
beings.
They write their little
John would just come
sketchbook.
back at him.
They make
Because Jesse
drawings.
has
They
a
don't
way of
write
answering,
anything
like you said
down.
before.
And they
They
ask you,
can't-
how do you
question
feel
with a
about
question.
that?
Right.
More importantly, they
looking at
can't
Robert,
diagnose you,
and
and they
I'm
can't
thinking to
treat
myself,
you accordingly. They're
If they're
useless.
not true, if
A
the allegations
therapist
are
is an
lying,
overpaid
he's kind of
guidance
nutcase.
counselor.
Patrick Rooney
That's
is a nutcase.
correct.
Why doesn't he just say they're not
Oh,
true?
speaking of guidance
Yeah.
counselor,
Leave it at
I
that.
picked up this
He doesn't
comic
have to
book
go into
called
details,
Death
right? He
Rage.
doesn't have to go
I think
into
you would
an
like it.
explanation. It's just that Pat's off
I
his
mean, I
rocker.
like the name.
No,
so
none of it's true.
Maybe.
It's
He didn't do that.
the premise is
Why?
Black
Because he
Deadpool.
didn't want to ever say that. He doesn't want to put him in a
He couldn't say that.
It's actually
He
pretty
couldn't
decent.
say it. He literally couldn't say it. It was super obvious.
I'll just say this: the
And
people
I
that
mean,
put it out also put out a book called Miss
technically, but he
Meow.
knew, obviously, it would be
The
a
source
lie,
video
flat
is
out
an
lie.
hour and
He didn't want to
44 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't want to get caught into
Dude,
slander,
man.
yeah.
No,
I am
and
dreading the next
and so
50
it went that
minutes.
way. And at a certain point,
I'm dreading
Jesse
that
had
we'll
turned the
finish
meeting
this
and
before
we were
Locke
shown the
gets
door.
back.
it got into a shower at a certain point.
That seems like
And,
a possible outcome
Yeah,
at this point.
John, it was a very simple tactic, but it was a very good tactic.
Arise,
Not to lose
testify,
focus.
Mhm.
possess
Because I
Selassie,
kinda
and
lost
force
focus
him
on
to
the
return to the
Like I say,
stream.
he answers
Even if it
questions
means, no,
with more questions.
especially if it
Right.
means shitting his
And
Well,
pants.
John is a salesman, so it's like always be
I'm
closing.
just
First
gonna
thing
say
that
this.
happens is looks for a wheelchair.
I'm just
he
going to say
closed
this.
down that
If
meeting.
Testify
closed-
takes
he
over
closed the
Lassie,
meeting.
the
Yeah,
first thing he's
yeah.
going to do
Oh,
is
God.
end the
Oh.
stream.
But I want to say
Yes.
something too. And if you're watching out there,
Yes.
Jesse, in some room by yourself,
Everything just cuts off and then it just turns into the trash
I don't
compactor
have any-
show.
I have a shred of animosity towards him.
That would be better than this.
He's never done anything bad to me. He's been kind to us on the
Yeah.
contrary.
Yeah, to you and your family. He
And
has.
to
This
my
is
family.
nightmare
So
shit.
I
Holy
have no
shit.
motive to say these
Like,
things.
He has a
Zero.
guest and he manages.
But
It's like the
one thing I did
boring
wanna
is a
also say is-
feedback loop. And
one
Patrick
reason why
and
some people
Brian
might wanna come-
are
not come
infinitely
forward, or they
feeding
might
back
not
in
agree with
feeding back
our
in,
side,
creating
so
a
to speak,
feedback effect in on
is
each other,
that
and just
when you do that, you have to admit,
becoming more and more boring by the
you have to
second.
admit that you judged a person wrongly. And
Hey, Ironbrecht, you want to know what you do
and
right now
was saying
since
more-
Alossi isn't
moreover,
here?
that you got to admit
Fire
that
up a
you're
stream
foolable.
on
Not that
on
just
your
I
channel
fooled you,
and do dueling
but that you're
streams.
foolable.
Dueling
You're
stream? No.
you're kind of, to a degree, you're
Uh,
suckered, kind of like you couldn't see through this person enough. Your discretion,
Also, can't
or
stream
your
at the moment.
vision,
Some
so to
dumb
speak,
shit.
your
flagged the
clarity
channel, so
wasn't
there's
all
that.
Yeah.
that clear,
Yeah.
because there were red flags along the way that I dismissed.
Someone got ass
I'm
mad.
sure you
and
have
flagged
the
my
same
channel.
Oh, yeah.
That is what it is.
Really?
Without the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
there was
I
other-
unlisted all
Yeah.
my videos.
So
Son of a
that's
bitch.
sometimes a hard pill to
Two
swallow.
retards in the car
I
shall
mean, I'll say it out
return.
loud, I give the guy
2023.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
know?
I did as well, and so much of my time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say that they believe that they have a very good way of looking at people and they know if someone is okay or not. They have that,
It was the
whatever.
jokes. It was
And I
it
think
was the
almost
jokes about the
everybody,
Drews, wasn't it?
maybe a lot of us think that
no.
we are the same way, but almost all of us are foolable.
Yes.
And we don't want to say that we are, but we are foolable.
It's almost
YouTube
like
is
every
very
show I go
vague.
on gets struck.
Almost all of us are
Yeah,
foolable.
YouTube is very vague.
And so to admit that you were wrong and that we've been fooled, yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow.
It's a hard pill to swallow, and I think some of it comes back to what Jesse said, ironically, in the sense that to the part of yourself that is flawed, that part becomes foolable.
Yeah.
So Jesse says, if you have any anger in you, you can't really know anything. In a roundabout
Wow.
way, you know.
Have you done all of Martin's
You can
videos on
know
his
there are
Sergeant
things you
Francis
can
channel? We've done
know,
a
but
bunch
it's
of them,
kind of like one of
actually,
those
Jim Dinner.
truths that's
Yeah, we
mostly
have.
true. You know,
Yeah.
Specifically
and yet
where
there
he
are things that
causes
you
the
can
car
know.
crash.
Even in our
and,
fallen
where
condition,
he
there are things
shows
God
the
gives us. To see.
Yes, they're
the-
gifts from him.
They're gifts.
What do you call it?
There
The,
are revelations.
restraining order?
You're shown.
Yeah, where he
Yes,
gets
the
served,
motives
where
are
he's
true.
protesting Jesse Lee Pearson at
Right.
7
You
o'clock
know
at
that-
night.
Can't
This was
take
back in
credit.
February.
No.
He
A
says
lot
he
of things
gets
that happened in my
served.
life that
Then he
were
gets
good.
arrested, and then when the cops
Yeah,
ask him
anything
what's
to
in
do
the
with it.
fucking folder that he
anything to do
had
with
that
it.
same night that
We
he was
are,
given
Good
when he
things that
got
happened to
served.
me. I mean,
They
they
said,
actually
"Did they serve you?" And he's like, "No, I was never
through the grace of
served."
God, they happened.
Even on
Yeah,
the
he
previous
lies to the
video.
cop. He lies to the
That's
cops
what
and
I'm
says he hadn't been
thankful
served.
Yeah, I'm thankful to even be here, obviously, at this point in my life,
Yes.
to even be alive, to have the mercy of God.
Dude, man says, can the
I just
boring
hope as far as
feedback loop
Jesse's
cause the
concerned, and I
Large
have been
Hadron
angry about
Collider to
stuff,
stop fucking with reality? God,
but
I hope
I've
so,
never
dude,
wanted
man.
to be angry. So
I
I've always
genuinely
sought
hope so.
to forgive as
Every
best I
time that
can.
thing
And I haven't,
fires, and
again,
they
I don't
create
want to
another
feed
reaction,
anything
the
that would make me
world
angry
gets
at Jesse
weirder
or whatever.
and
So
weirder.
I've always wanted to be healed of that. And I've even had to recently just say, hey, if I have to ask,
The
I
next
heard Fabian was
Hadron
doing a show the other
Collider
night, and he was talking about having
brings
to ask
Testify
God
back.
to make me want to care.
I hope
he
it
said, at
does
some point in
too,
his life.
but not as a
And
demon.
I had to ask, I've asked God, just
I don't want to deal
God,
with
please make,
demonic
I want to
prince
forgive
Testify
Jesse for
HD.
what
That
he's done
sounds
completely.
terrifying.
I don't want to have anything against him. It's not good for me. It's not good for my family. It's not good for anybody. And
Hell,
I said,
Yori terrorized
just
mentally
make me want
challenged
to forgive him.
people.
Yeah.
He terrorized
God
anybody he
talked-
could.
Yeah, give me the
God.
desire. So I'm
Anybody.
doing all I can. I ask for your guys' prayers too. And I said that to Jesse. I've talked to Jesse and told him I don't want to hate you for anything. He did a lot of wrong things, but yes, he
God,
also fooled me.
Pepe,
And
no.
I have
Pepe
my
Silva
own
says, why does
part of all this
Testify
stuff.
hide
So,
behind the face of
I was
Martin,
easily
saint of
fooled.
good
I
race?
had something
We
in
don't
me
know.
that wanted
We
to
don't
do
know,
certain things that
Pepe.
he
We
brought
don't
out of me.
know.
See?
Well, Prime,
So
I'll
it
just
wasn't like
say
he was
this.
operating in a vacuum.
Your voice is
He was
sounding more
operating
and
in
more
something
like
that was
Testify
already there, and he
each
helped pull it
stream.
out of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
so I don't want anyone to hate Jesse.
How
I
do
know
your
that some,
legs feel?
guys, I've heard Anthony and people like that.
Do they
I'm
still
sitting at a
work, Prime?
computer.
on
I'm
studios
sitting
say,
at a
I hate you
computer
guys
all
stuff.
fucking day. I feel like
And I
him
hope he
now.
goes to hell. No, I don't hope he goes to
Oh,
hell.
no.
I hope
You've been
God does
possessed.
whatever he's going to do. I hope
Yeah.
for Jesse's
Jim
own
Tudor
sake
says anyone
that he comes
terrorized
clean
by
with God before
Testify
he dies.
deserved it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Hey,
that's
hang on.
the best
Let me
for him.
try this out.
And I want
Shut the
I want
fuck up,
forgiveness
Einbrick.
for everybody. I want to see the best for everybody.
Oh,
Jesse.
God.
Yes.
That's all.
That has to be our
Get
attitude.
ready.
You can't have anger for this guy. I still.
Why
I
is
still believe,
Edward even
I
in the
know
back?
everyone that sins is a slave, and in a sense that they're driven by some sort of compulsion.
Yes.
Like I was with my father. I didn't really understand what I was doing. You know, I thought I honestly thought when I hated my dad, I was doing the right thing.
Oh, I
Honestly.
Yeah,
picked
because
up
it
more
feels
bags
right,
of
that anger.
Yeah.
prime rib
Greg
and
here
horseradish
says, the bad
chips.
news
So
was that I was
I'm
fooled.
wrecked.
Nice.
The good news is I was able to admit it very quickly. Well, good
Yes.
for you, Greg.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very true.
Now I gotta keep my
Um,
You
cat from
admit that
eating
you're
them.
fooled, you can get out of it really quick.
Yeah,
You
I
can be free
mean,
of it.
cats will eat
that's
anything.
right. And
So
Adriana
probably.
says, I really hope everyone forgives Jesse. We know the devil doesn't know he is the devil. I agree. We
Hold
should
it.
forgive him. Now,
They
should
want
Jesse
people to
pay a
forgive
particular
Jesse,
price,
but
whatever?
yet these
We can
jackasses
argue
are
that.
going around
But I
spouting
know
this
for
shit.
me, at a certain point,
That's
I had
probably
to
not
say,
even true.
I can't be
You
obsessed
dumb
with
motherfuckers.
seeing that Jesse goes down.
Yeah, in all fairness,
making him pay.
the
It's just not.
sexual
It goes into a
nonsense
revenge thing at that
accusations are
point.
probably
Yeah.
untrue,
And I
but
think it was right for me to do what I
the
did. I
shit
mean, I
they
brought
say
people
about
out
him
who
about him
would
being
have known me
non-Christian
the other
is
way,
accurate.
probably.
The guy
You know,
is
like
not
Samuel
Christian
and other
in any
people that
capacity,
were in the
and
middle
he
of doing
preaches
stuff.
as
So
though he
I'm
isn't
thankful for
Christian.
that. But at a certain point, I did what I could do. I told my
You know it's
story.
not
It got
Christian,
out
my
to a
fucking
point where
cat.
it was going on
That
its
little
own. and I didn't need
demon.
to keep pushing it.
Yeah,
Cats
and
are
I
of
think
the
Martin
devil, so
Francis did what he
certainly.
needed to do.
That
I think he
motherfucker
needed
will
to take
eat you
certain
in your
steps
sleep.
to do
Yes.
what he needed to do.
I didn't
I'll
see
just
that.
put
I
it
didn't
this
see
way.
that at first.
It's not the
With what
cats I'm
Martin was
afraid
doing,
of
honestly, I didn't see it at first. I thought, okay,
being
this is
free while
a
I
little
sleep.
much. But
It's
I
my
could
girlfriend.
see God working.
Yeah, Jim
with
Tuner
Martin.
says the
I
devil
could see a
doesn't know
video
he
that
is the
Martin did with
devil.
Jesse
That's
crossing the
I
street, and
know.
basically
They
helped
say
him
a
cause
lot
an
of dumb
accident.
shit on this show.
And
Jim
that was like
Tuner.
God working in that video. God was exposing
Satan is
Jesse, how Jesse was
entirely
talking
aware
about
that
Martin.
he's
You
the
know, you did
devil.
this with your brother's wife, and
Right.
that
Satan bleeds
uncaring
for a
attitude
week
that
every
Jesse had
month and
about
has
people that
posable
just had their car
thumbs.
smashed and maybe they got hurt. Who knows? All that stuff was shown,
Yes,
and I
he
think that was
does.
God
Or should I
showing
say,
some of
yes,
these
she
things.
does.
Exposed. Yeah.
God was doing some exposing there. So I don't always
Pepe
know what
Silva
is the correct
says
thing is to do
everyone
either. I
knows
could be obviously
Prime
wrong
and
like everybody
Testify
else.
did a
It
Freaky
kind of
Friday switch.
it kind of just
Except
kind of
instead of
happened
saying the
organically
same
in the
thing
Yes.
and saying jinx,
Martin,
they viciously
Martin
masturbated
was,
eye
if I'm
to
not
eye with the
mistaken,
devil's
Martin
grin
was the
upon their
one
faces.
that contacted Church Militant
Ugh.
Yeah, I think so.
originally, and
Is
that
there a
turned
gay
viral.
sex arc coming up
No,
for you
that
and Death
was
Jesse?
one of the
Prime?
big things that kind of turned this around, and then that was
Well, there
that
isn't
video was
now,
picked
but
up
now
by a
there
lot
will
of other
be.
influencers on the internet, and so
Somewhere there's
it
just
got big
weird
that way.
Testify
But
fan fiction.
you can't have a vendetta attitude
Jim
towards
Tuner
Where's
says
Vicky?
cats will
can't
suck the
towards
breath
him.
out of
You
you
can't
and
do
kill
that.
you
You
in your
can't. I'm going to
sleep.
pay you
Yes,
back.
that
That
is
kind of
correct.
stuff.
Mr.
I'm going to
Peter.
get some blood from this guy.
No, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Yeah.
You know it in
Dogs,
your spirit.
meanwhile, will at
If
least
I
have
do
the
something
courtesy to
and I
wait
start
until you're
thinking about
dead and
this
they're
stuff too
starving to
much,
eat
and I
you.
think about, oh, we need to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
It starts building up a little anger inside my heart.
Yeah.
And I like, at that point, I know I'm going in the wrong direction.
See, yeah, and at the same time, I know God is like running the whole show.
Yeah.
I'm under no illusion. And there's something
This
called
Brian
karma.
guy looks
He's
like
gonna
that
follow
dude
Jesse,
from
and he just can't
Ghost
shake it.
Adventures
He won't
if
be
he
able to
were
shake it, yeah.
60.
He won't. That's like I told him at the
Oh,
meeting.
what's
It's not going away.
Yeah.
Are you under some kind of delusion that this is going to go? It's not going to go away.
Are you
You know, the
assuming
guy's
they're all
cast.
actors who were paid?
And so I just can't have it cast in my soul by hating the guy, and I'm not going to.
Possibly.
Yes.
Even though stuff is really contemptible.
It is
On a
contemptible.
really primitive level, it's contemptible.
But you know what? Honestly,
I don't know, man.
I had something in me.
It
when
sounds
I
to
met Jesse
me like
that
if
yes,
the
I wanted
accusations are
help to
true,
get
which
away from
I
him. Yes,
do
I
not
did.
believe they are.
But
It
and I
seems
was
to me like he
fooled,
was
and that
a
was hard for me. It's been hard for me to let that
homosexual.
go.
That
I'm just
being
going to be
said,
honest
the
about it.
man is not a Christian and should not.
But
be
I also
drinking
see
Christian
part of me
message.
sees that
He may
I
be.
could
He
have been
may
taken
not be
advantage of by
he
anybody.
may
There's
not
plenty
be a
of evil
Christian,
people
but
on
I'm
this earth.
pretty sure
Sure.
he's into
And I had
dudes
something in
named
me that was
Christian.
not corrected
Yeah.
spiritually.
Yeah.
It probably
Specifically
should have been
sticking
by
his
then in my
fingers
life.
and or
But it
penis
was
in
like
their
an open
butthole
thing
or
that was
mouth.
not corrected. And it was going to happen in some kind of way.
Pepe
Something
Silva
was
says
going
the
to happen.
devil was God's
And
first
that was
creation,
almost
the
like
most
meant
powerful
to
and
happen in a
beautiful
certain way. It
thing
was just
he
going to
ever
be somebody
made.
was out there.
It kind of
But
had to
this,
happen.
Kind of had to
this
happen.
the
It
pride.
kind of had to work its
Satan
way
knows
out.
he's
You
evil,
know,
but
it
is
had, you had
delusional
to,
and thinks he is
you
worthy
had to
of
get
God's
some kind of
throne. That's
closure on
correct,
it,
Pepe.
and sometimes you've got to
Dude,
go
man
through
says,
some
vengeance is
additional
mine, saith
traumatic
the Lord,
experience
but
to get that
deplatforming
closure.
be
Yeah.
You know,
mine.
so I got the saying that
Yeah.
I'm sorry
that's
it happened, but I'm glad it
it.
did.
Yeah. It's hard to say that because
Oh my
Well,
God,
yeah,
he's
he was
alive.
alive.
it's like I got a
Well,
feeling
how's it going?
right now.
What's going on?
Oh,
What did I
nothing.
miss?
Well,
They
first,
are.
Do I need to
They-
restart the stream?
no.
No, they're extremely boring. They're fucking retarded. Like, they've said a couple things that are ridiculous, but it's just been one old geese. Oh, yeah, those are the comments from earlier.
You all right
Yes.
there, Lassie?
Yeah.
And yes, dude, man, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, but deplatforming be mine. It's a nice perversion of the fucking Bible that they're peddling here.
Oh, Einbrecht, should I tell a Lassie?
Dude, man wants to know how your toilet nap was. Alas.
It was most enjoyable.
Okay, well, since we got it paused, I have two pictures I need to share to the chat now.
Yes. We have a meme for you, gentlemen.
Oh, okay. So this is Anna's side profile. The nose.
Yeah, it looks like she got her nose broken recently. That's got to be rough.
Yeah. Okay.
That hurts. I've had my nose never broken, but like I've had it smashed. It hurts like hell.
Let's get
Martin
on
Francis
to
is absolutely an all-in kind of guy. Yes.
Well, don't
And
get so close to dudes' asses.
He made the Jordan Lee Peterson meme. You're going
Yeah.
to need to be in the
Shit.
chat bar.
it's
Yes.
part of
Boner.
yeah.
Boner is the bisexual organization of New Evangelical Rape. I figured Pepe Silva would appreciate this one, so I wanted to wait until you were here and Pepe was around to show it.
Their faces go together so fucking well. It's not even funny.
It's disturbing.
Why does he look like the old man from what the fuck was that old show?
I think it's specifically Anna's take on the Tifa costume.
It's Tifa Lockhart. It is. There's more pictures of her out there. She's doing Tifa Lockhart.
Oh no! Pepe Silva says, "Holy shit!" And it has a bigger nose than the Princess of Druidia in Spaceballs. At least the princess got a nose job. Oh jeez.
I wonder if she's hiding gold.
Oh. Are you suggesting that she might have a bag tied around her neck?
Well, I'll just say this: people that in the Hispanic culture, if they have EZ at the end of their last name, that actually is part Jewish as well.
Should I start a poll for who has the worst nose, Nick Rekieta or Anna?
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble with that one.
It's funny you ask it. Einbrecht, should I tell Alasi now about Nick Rekieta?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Alasi. I'm possibly going to gift you with the greatest intro for Liamology ever. If I can have this done right. I have a buddy of mine that's at the anime convention where Nick Rekieta and Anna the Star Wars girl are guests at. And I'm going to have my buddy, if he can get close enough to Nick Rekieta, I'm going to have him videotape Rekieta going, Liam Gray is Liam Ghey. Stop DMCAing people. Subscribe to Alasia Affairs on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, cool. You said tell him about Nick Rekieta. I thought you were going to be like, oh, he's got his channel back or something.
They're all at Anime Matsuri right now.
Ah.
And tonight, I think they're having karaoke night in one of the event halls.
Pepe Silva says, I am a proud member of Boner. It is full of wonderful men. And when I say Boner is full of wonderful men, I mean it's full of men who have been knee-deep inside Martin's asshole. Jim Tuner says, Sketch will kill you if you diss Anna. I mean, that's a distinct possibility.
I don't care. I've had arguments with Sketch in the past.
Helmet says, I'm heading for bed, guys. There's a fat, naked lady demanding my company right now.
Ray's at your house?
You better verify that fat, naked lady isn't Liam with an am hole post-op. Just be safe.
Or Ironbrick's friend. His mom. Yes. Or should I say dad?
Dad.
The looks of the chat are fairly fairly interesting time that I missed out on.
Yeah.
These guys are mostly boring, but like I said, they said a handful of things that were fucking retarded.
Gentlemen, can we watch a video I'm putting in the private chat? It's not copyright. I promise.
Famous last words.
Liam's Naruto murder doll. Yes. The 25 backers and 1 donator, apparently.
That's still less than what he has from Xenotype.
It says, I can send pics and probably a video, but I don't want you to see what kind of ladies I bang.
Helmet, we both know it's a microwave cantaloupe.
It's okay, Helmet. We know you go hogging. It's all right. Suey,
all right.
suey.
Yeah.
Does she find truffles?
More importantly, does she find truffles in your butthole? Because if she does, it might be time to get rid of her. Or clean yourself.
And take a bath.
Here's the thing, Ironbrick. The women he dates are the only ones who agree to piss on him, so.
Fair. Pepe Silva says, testify, I mean, Prime hates sketch therapy. They may or may not have been in the same campaign together. And by campaign, I mean the gay men's campaign for free butt fucking in Ukraine.
Fuck off.
Having a goatee is an amazing fashion statement. It's a lifestyle. Every day I wake up screaming. I have my morning meditation. I piss, shit, and cum at the same time. I brush my teeth with IPA. I use whiskey as mouthwash. I take cold showers. Ice cold. And I scream. I read the Bible every damn day. This is what the Lord said. I f my truck. I sniff and I f my truck again. Then I light 3 cigarettes and find girls that are just hanging out in the middle of the desert.
Whoa, does that guy have a goatee?
Then I go up and punch him in the face, respectfully.
Oh, that's so
Then they come back to my place with the powers of the goatee, and we have insane, passionate, beautiful lovemaking. Done. Sometimes having a goatee isn't all fun and games. Sometimes you meet people that are a little different than you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well. Look at what we have here.
IPA, I see a bitch.
You looked in a mirror lately? It looks like you got a little bit of residue from eating your wife's ass last night.
Is that a handlebar mustache? Swerve on out of here, buddy.
I bet you don't even know Hulk Hogan's last name.
It's Hogan.
What? Fuck. Is it?
And his middle name is...
I met my 3rd wife on the set of Jerry Springer.
The tests are in, and I must be the father, because your wife calls me daddy.
You look like you work security at an ICP concert. And the only ICP I see is a pussy.
How'd you know I used to work there?
What'd they fire you for? Having shitty facial hair?
I was doing whippets on the job.
Oh,
Yeah, I was harassing the women too, respectfully.
respect. Oh, this is such a shitty handlebar. Why are you excited to see me?
What? Oh, don't you get your hopes up. That's just my leather-bound camo Bible.
If only the Lord can make your shit goatee camo, so I don't have to see it.
If you think you're a real man, give me your best brother.
Oh, you think you can out-brother me?
Get over here. Brother.
Not today, you brother. B-R-O-T-H. You probably haven't even seen Fast and the Furious 4 yet.
You smell like a Tesla.
Tesla? Only thing I smell like is your wife's cooter on 4th of July. Sweaty and filled with hot dogs.
Dang it, I'm locked out of my house. Oh, guys with facial hair. Guys without facial hair are ugly as fuck. I want them to take me to Applebee's.
What the hell?
Nice facial hair.
He don't. He got shit.
If you didn't have facial hair, I probably wouldn't talk to you.
No, I got a goatee right here.
Wow, you guys are like so extremely attractive. Wow.
Shit.
Ugly, hot.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, no. His hand's in the way. See him right here.
Oh, you're hot again.
Yeah. See, look at this.
What?
Ugly. Oh, you're hot. Oh, you're both ugly. Oh, you're both hot. I don't ever do this, but maybe would you guys want to have a threesome with me?
They have a 3 for $20 deal?
3 for $20. Now that math don't even work.
That don't work.
I gotta call Margaritaville. Tell them to step the fucking game up.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gone.
Oh,
Shit. What do you say I show you how I throttle a Harley?
All right.
Let's go get that 2 for $20.
That's when me and my new friend, we hit that Applebee's 2 for $20. Then we order every drink on the menu. Then I must go on a joyride in my truck.
Hey, Mr. Comedy Guy, funny guy. You think it's pretty funny to hit kids with a truck, don't you? And then you drove away like nothing happened. That's a crime in some states, and by my calculation, you're in one of the states where it's a crime. Put these on. They'll look good on you, pretty boy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You sure about that, buddy?
I had no idea. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You're good to go, sir.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, we're pretty lenient with the laws these days. You get one of these, most things are just kind of warnings.
So I'm good?
Can you go up against mine a little bit? Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. We could use a guy like you on the force.
Yeah.
Here, have this.
Oh.
Yeah, this is yours. Take
thanks.
that. Yeah, of course.
Why does it have the orange tip?
Oh, I paint that on to trick people. They're like, oh, it's just a fake gun. Nope.
Oh,
Oh, one of my boys.
all right.
Yeah, they got me on foot patrol today, so I gotta go. Woo!
As I watched that cop run away, I realized this goatee gives me all the power in the world. I've never lived a day in my life without a goatee.
Be Clued says,
And
"Oh my
maybe,
God, this
just
is
maybe,
gayer than Kids in the
I
Hall."
need to see what it feels like
it might be.
to shave it off and to be goateeless. It has to be done. I must do this to find out what it's like on the other side.
Calling your guns toys. Calling your wife a bitch. Calling your second wife a bitch. Calling the third one a bitch. There you are. Forgot how to shave.
Goodbye, my almost lover. Goodbye, my goatee. I must go out into the real world, looking like the thing that brought me into this world. A pussy.
Oh, look, that's the goatee guy. The guy that punched us and had like sex with us.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, remember when I came up to you and I just punched you right in the face and then we went inside and had crazy sex? Respectfully, you guys want to go do that again?
What happened to your face?
I don't have the goatee anymore, but...
Oh!
What's wrong? No!
Dude, it looks like a rat. Wait, I need to throw up on you one more time.
What have I done? No!
That's pretty gay.
Satellite for Charlie's. I like it. Bye bye.
Ira, what the fuck did I just watch?
I don't know. That was extremely gay.
How do you have a girlfriend, John?
I ask myself that every 3 days.
Well, at least you're honest with yourself.
No, the real question is, why am I still with this bitch?
And now he does not have a girlfriend because she's sitting right next to him as he said that.
No, she's outside. I'm good.
She has cameras in the house, you dipshit.
Now I'm scared again. There is a motion to censor.
So long as you guys don't have Ring, you should be good.
No, someone stole that off the side of the door the other day.
Oh, God.
It was a raccoon.
I'm no longer the hick, with no education.
Right.
On the other hand, this is not just about my education, but I have a real family who were hurt in a real way.
Yes.
Who my side of this let down them and in a real way.
Yeah.
So there's real world consequences here. This is not like a victimless situation, and it's still being worked out to this day. It's still being worked out. Let me get a couple of comments here. Fabian on a couple of his comments.
Gentlemen, it's 11 o'clock at night. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I was sticking around just for an hour.
Not wanting to completely let go of something because I feel
Good night.
This person will get away with it or whatever. The fact of the matter
fun.
is, evil people get away with stuff every day, right? There's evil people running our world.
Absolutely.
They've been getting away with stuff for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And Jesse, in the end, who knows? He may slip away and get away with this stuff. I have to be willing to accept the fact that it's possible he just in this world gets away with this.
He can waltz. Yeah.
And he walks, because people like him that have so much truth that they're saying, but yet have so much evil working in them are so slick and so smart that they can play people very. The average person is like a hick compared to Jesse. This guy is a very, very slick character, and don't underestimate this guy at all.
He's only calling Jesse intelligent because if he admits that Jesse is retarded and fooled him, he has to admit that he's more retarded than the retarded person.
Yep.
That's the only reason he calls Jesse slick. That's it. Fucking surfboard out, yeah. Martin is indeed at the methadone clinic. Probably getting, jokes aside, he's probably getting more fucking chemo. His cancer is a vicious monstrosity. Get better, Francis. I want to laugh at you for many years to come.
You still think he has years?
Let's see. David says, if we don't judge, we
can
can fight and even kill if we have to in defense, and all fine. Yeah. I'm saying I'm willing to do whatever it is God wants me to do. Right. If God wants me to take any situation, including this one, to the end, I'm happy to do so.
Yes.
But if he doesn't, and I don't think he does want me to lead this situation to the end, I think he knows I have a family and I need to kind of at some point get back to my own life and
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we don't want to intellectualize this either. You have to, like I was saying earlier, you have to be led. And if you're not being led to destroy Jesse Peterson, then don't do it.
Right.
Don't let your intellect get in the way of
That's
that.
right. That's
but
right.
if you're somebody else,
everyone knows the prime and
maybe your mission
Freaky Fridays. Instead of saying the same thing and saying jinx, they viciously masturbated eye to eye with a devil's grin upon their face.
Not want to prevent future victims and people being led to hell?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I maintain that is correct.
I agree with you, Justin. I'm just asking about.
It's not been my experience, but whatever.
And I don't want to lose my soul over this. That's the bottom line.
It really depends on how domesticated the breed is.
If I was a perfect warrior,
same with dogs.
I had no anger, and God was to take it away, and he could allow me to be perfectly fine leading the charge or whatever. Maybe he would. Maybe I don't know what God's going to do. All I know is at this point, I don't want to lose my soul over this. And I've already told my story, and I don't know that I should be out there leading the charge. That's all I'm saying.
You don't want to be obsessed. You know, there's a lot of maniacal, you know, you could be out to expose the Bilderbergers or Carl Schwab or, you know, whoever, you know, and it's like at a certain point you become obsessed with it and you don't even have a life of your own anymore.
Yeah. And we have a friend.
It's all intellectual.
Our friend, you know, Fabian knows about these kind of things as well, because he got pulled into a long time thing where he was, you know, fighting Jesse and, you know, beyond where it needed to go. Greg here is saying, my biggest regret is the brief time. Greg did used to work at Bond as a radio engineer for Jesse.
Okay.
He left, and I regret not telling Greg in the back of my mind, knowing about Jesse and letting Greg move out there. And I had to apologize to Greg. I'm so sorry that I just wasn't ready, I guess, at the time. I wasn't ready to come out and say all this stuff, I guess. But Greg said, my biggest regret is the brief time I worked at Bond was not going with what I saw. The signs were there. My friend Joe figured it out all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Other things, not the sex. Yeah. Right. He in other words, Joe didn't see everything. He didn't see the sex, but he saw something was not right about Jesse.
But he saw red flags.
He did. He saw red flags like we all did, but most of us. And somebody said to me yesterday, I had a great conversation with a lady that was involved with Bond, and somebody else said this, and they said, oh, somebody said this to me on the phone today. Somebody that used to work at Bond. I have a lot of people in the background. I can't use all their names. He said at some point he would kind of always come back and say, maybe I'm wrong. People like Jesse use that. They're so good at that. They know that the kind of person that I have been in my life, and many people have been, are the I'm wrong first kind of people.
Yeah.
They will use that to make you wrong. That's why I was kind of fighting when I first came out with this stuff, and I was going
Rex
back.
Kwon from Napoleon Dynamite. Oh no!
You know, at some point, I realized what was going on. At other points, I was like, well, you know what? I'm angry though, so I'm wrong.
Right.
Helmet says
going back and forth and this and that, and that's what people do. And people like Jesse know how to use that spiritual tool against you.
Yes.
They know that you're going to look first to yourself.
Yes.
And they are
Silva says,
more
holy
than
crap,
happy
this
to
is
bring it
exactly
back
how
to
I
you.
picture
They're
Brian
more
after he gets
more
called
than happy
testify
to
on
take
his
it off
stream.
them and bring it back to you.
Yeah. Very.
The average,
Oh my
the
God,
average
this is
person,
gayer than Kids in the
Jesse's
Hall.
coming from a place of I'm sinless, right?
Yeah.
Pepe Silva
He's
says
coming from
Liam
that
enjoyed the
place.
Yes.
Avengers and has decided to create a superhero team-up
I'm
comic.
sinless.
The Axe
Yeah.
Avengers
But
go into
you,
search
Pat,
of the
you have
Copper
sin.
Act, also known
and
as
the
the
average
Triforce
person
of
that would go
Baby
to
Raven.
Bond
It's
thinks that
already
they're a sinner.
illegal
So
globally.
anything that comes up where there's any question about who is wrong,
Be Clue, it
it's
says
always going
lol,
to come back to
just
them, and it's
lol.
never going to be him.
Yeah.
Boom,
That's how he's
dead.
able to just
Says
almost
Jim Tuner.
forever go without anybody really challenging him.
Yeah.
Oh
It's very
shit.
insidious.
Pepe Silva
Very
says
insidious.
testify.
It's like I say, it's next level stuff.
It's very. I think it is. Someone, St. Louis, the
Be
ninth.
Clue, it says what a hill to die on.
A fool from 2015.
I suspect
what? If you know something, good for you. But
regarding
for most
the
people,
beard thingy.
they doubted
bit.
themselves. That's just the way.
I told you sketch would get you for dissing Anna, says Jim Tuner.
Most of the people that
Thumbs down,
says
says Pepe Silva.
Jesse, let's say
Jesse
you're a liberal or
Milestone
something,
is avenged, says
they kind of
Jim
just looked
Tuner.
at him as stupid.
Pepe Silva
Or
says I expected 300% more
harmless fool, kind of
suspensions.
spouting off and saying stuff.
Right.
Oh,
They
was
had
that
no idea what they were
was
dealing
that her
They
under
didn't know
the
what to do
goatee?
with
says
it.
They
Be Clue?
underestimated
Maybe.
Totally underestimated.
Some country bumpkin.
The stream
from
is finally
Alabama.
getting
It's kind of like
interesting now.
Columbo. Remember the old show Columbo, the bumbling, you know.
Pepe
Inspector-
Silva says
Inspector
the paralyzed
Clouseau or
ghost
whatever.
will testify
He
and
really
is
is real
finally
smart.
avenged
With
against
160
Brian
IQ, yeah.
for
Yeah,
stealing his voice.
Jesse told me. I told you guys on different shows before, but it bears repeating now. Jesse one time I was up in his
Be
office and
Clue
he told
says
me that
at
he was
Jim
a genius.
Tuner, Rooney was
He said, you
that
know the
boring,
character
they
that played
self-deleted.
Mozart in the movie Amadeus?
Yeah.
He
You
said,
guys
"That's
are in
me."
so much trouble now. Liam,
He
the
said,
king
and
of
he
the
mentioned the
racist
guy because
maniacs,
the
is
guy had
reporting
sex
you.
with
Who's the
different women
loser
and
now?
stuff, but yet he was a
Says
genius.
Pepe
See?
Silva.
And Salieri was
Dude,
this
man
elite
says
guy that was
he has
moral,
a plague
but was
demon living
judging
inside his forehead. I
the
guess that's in
genius, and
reference to
therefore wasn't a
Martin.
very good musician.
Be Clue, it says that
So
Beard
Jesse
Man
had
show was
actually pegged
probably
himself
Liam's
as the
favorite
Amadeus
positive
character.
reinforcement video.
I thought that was
Would
very interesting.
explain the
Because at the time, you always
goatee.
tell people he's a dummy, but he told me that he was a genius.
Jim
And
Tuner
he is
says
a
that
legal
Beard
genius.
Man was probably Liam's long lost father.
Fabian said, I'm just going to run through. If you want to say anything, go ahead, Brian. I'm just running through a few extra comments here.
Beard Man says not one of
Sure, ignore me. Go ahead.
not one
I'm just
video of
running through
Rocky's
just a
gay
few, and then
sex
we'll
is
get through
proof
this.
before
And I
you
think
claimed
at that
anything.
point,
Yes.
I don't think we have to go further tonight.
Andy A says,
Fabian
hello,
said, in the
y'all.
past, I had emotions
Hey ho, all
for
you
bullies from my
meathead
childhood,
bastards.
so I
Hello,
was
Andy.
enjoying doing videos about his lies and perjury. I feel different now. I don't feel anything about him. Good. I'm glad that you're not feeling something about that because it's really important, Fabian.
Pepe Silva says, I
Betty
wasn't
has a
born
different
gay.
take
I
on
was
this.
made gay after repeatedly
Betty
being
says, I
raped by a
disagree.
ginger
My name is Betty.
albino
I
and his
disagree.
half
Anger is a
abo
necessary
Beyblade
alarm
enforcers
bell that tells
who
you
were led
something
by
is
a
wrong.
sex-addicted
Prompts you to
Parisian
act.
twink
You have to
cum
be able to
farmer.
control it, though.
Parisian.
I know that I know a lot of people think that way, and I also know a lot of people from my
He's talking
so-called
about the
spiritual
life
world,
of Mozart
whatever,
now.
don't see it that way.
Oh,
They see
jeez.
it more as something where you don't need anger to see, because if you just see, you can see. You don't need any emotion to actually see.
Yeah, I think, Betty, that to the contrary, no offense, but I think the anger part of it is the part that's going to blind you to it.
Yeah.
No, you're fucking
You
retarded.
can have a reaction, so to speak,
Rage
but it better
blinds
not
you
be
to things.
hate.
Anger? No.
And I'll tell you what,
Jesus.
you
These
don't have any
people.
control over hate. It controls you.
It does. It really does. It really
Yeah.
does.
So it's good to have maybe a better way of saying is have a reaction to it.
You know what this sounds like to me?
An indignation.
This sounds
towards
like
it
a fucking
is good
Hulk
way of
issue.
saying
Like
it.
this
It's like,
motherfucker
wow,
can't control his
repelled by
anger.
it.
When
His
I
anger
when I
controls
heard
him.
about Samuel, like
And
I have
so
my
he
own
thinks
issue,
that
but
no
that was,
one
you know, all
else
the
can
ways back,
control
right? It
their
wasn't
anger.
totally current.
Yeah.
When I heard about
Well, you heard what Martin says.
Samuel's situation, I
He's
had
a meat
different
puppet. He
take.
can't control his actions.
It was like it wasn't me anymore. So
He's
I
not
kind of, it was
responsible.
somebody else.
His actions
And when I
are,
saw
what
that
was
Jesse
it?
was doing
God and the
something
devil
at
acting through him.
now,
He
in
is
the now,
merely
I
a
don't, I'm
vessel
not
for
saying
their
now, this moment
thoughts.
now, but when I
Yes.
heard about Samuel, first of all, I had a different, it was like I had like a righteous indignation about it. It's like I was angry, but I wasn't like,
Which, for the record,
hurt
Francis,
myself
is
anger kind of thing.
contrary to the
Right,
Bible.
You know, I'm not
You
going
have
to die
free
of
will.
cancer anger here.
You
Right.
made
It was
those
kind of like an
choices.
indignation, like, wow, you're still
Answer
doing this
for them.
stuff. What's wrong with you, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a shock to the system, so to speak. You know, when you hear about this stuff,
It really is.
there's like a repulsion.
Yeah, it is.
Like maybe Betty, what better word would be a repulsion, but not necessarily. Well, I tell you, once you get into the hate and
Human
anger,
anger is a dangerous,
oh my God,
combustible thing that will kill you from the inside. That's what we're
yeah.
talking about. Adriana says he is
I
masterful.
don't
Yeah,
agree.
talking about Jesse and
Anger is
how,
a fuel that
he's
can
a
be
genius with this
used
guy is.
to.
He's a genius. There's no
He's
question.
smarter.
Just like any
I'll tell you
negative
this:
emotion for
he's way smarter than
self-improvement.
me. There's no
Yeah.
question in my mind.
And when I say him, I don't know if it's him or the devil in him,
Yeah.
honestly. But there's something in him that is very, very intelligent. Very
Jim
intelligent.
Jr.
Much
says
smarter
Martin
than me,
doesn't
too.
believe in free will. He's a meat puppet animated by
Okay,
angels and demons. He
let's
may
see.
be
Yeah,
right.
anger gets
Yeah,
away from
I
you,
mean,
yeah. Yes, he does have certain truths.
Martin
Yes,
may
he
be
talks
the
about
rare
being very
example.
truthful. And
He may
sometimes
be an
those truths
actual
can be a
demon.
way to stop
Pepe Silva says
people from
Mozart was a
exposing
great
you.
musician. I don't agree with
Look
his
at all the good he's
predilection
doing,
for rapist,
right?
senile,
Right.
If
mentally
the guy was going
retarded
around just
Asian
telling
men.
lies all the time, wouldn't it be
T-shirts,
pretty easy to expose
no
him?
judgment.
You know, and I don't want to make a show last too long, but the first time I called Jesse to question him about your blogs and what you were stating,
Yes.
Jesse asked me, it was kind of off subject, but he asked me, he goes, Brian, he says, do you think that I decided
Is
to
that a
start
fact
Bond
about
to be a
Mozart, or is that a
minister,
joke?
or did that come from somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, and I said to him, no, I think God called you to be a minister.
Mm-hmm.
But now, in retrospect, in retrospect, I think that Roy Masters called him to be a minister, and Jesse stepped forward and took that position. I don't think it was God that called him.
Is this something else possible too? I'm just throwing it out there. Is it possible that the devil called him?
It's a good question.
I don't know. I'm just saying in the sense of having all that access to his what he calls vices. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so someone says he's already been exposed. No need for further discussion. Yeah, I think it's important to have Brian on tonight to say what we said about fathers, to say what you were going to say. Anyway, Brian, I think it's good that all this stuff came out. And I'm just trying to be real with you guys. I'm not trying to hide behind a facade. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to be real, and I'm working this stuff out the same way anybody else is working this stuff out.
I'm not here for, some people are listening to you, Pat. They want to hear something salacious.
Yeah.
They want to hear stories about, the down and dirty crap.
Yes.
I'm not about that, man.
No.
I'm not about that.
Yeah,
I never will be.
Bro,
Because, my friend
that tells
Rocky,
me he has no fucking stories to tell.
But he said hate is like napalm. You stick your hand in it and you think you're going to throw it at the other
See
person.
how these other
and it
people have
sticks
been
to you.
excoriated
Yes.
with fucking
That's
telling
right.
stories that they've been
You
unable
think you're
to
throwing it at
relate
somebody else, and I'm not going to do
consistently.
that.
In the
You want to know
same
what my
manner.
relationship to Jesse Peterson
And he
is?
doesn't want to get fucking
I love Jesse Peterson.
destroyed like the other people have.
But because Christ has
Yeah, he doesn't want to be put on blast.
Yeah, good for you.
So-
Brian.
Oh, since he's here, let me show him our
I am
latest
not
meme.
there purely yet.
Oh
but
yes,
hopefully I will be.
yes. Alassi.
Tyson Allen.
This is a
Thank you,
meme.
Tyson. $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Tyson. That is very, very helpful. We appreciate that very much. You got a lot of comments now, and I'm just scrolling here, and
yes, I
so
suspect
many, I where to
Patrick
begin, but we're
is
gonna wind
very
down.
empty without JLP's cum in his butthole.
You're gonna love this.
Yeah,
Jordan Lee Peterson, founder of Boner, bisexual organization of new evangelical rape.
Yes, he accidentally Prime accidentally said Jordan Lee Peterson the other night on the stream, so we we had to make a meme. Pepe Silva says the way Patrick's perfectly sculpted skeleton head is nestled between those $14.99 Logitech headset is really just gets me off. Really gets me off, man. That blue medium V-neck, take me now, daddy. So wet for Poppy. Terrible.
By the way, you can screenshot this and share this around. You're welcome.
Oh, I'm Sonoma. Okay, JLP got me banned off my channel on Fifi Crib. Ugh, of course. JLP's fucking... Dude, flagging people for making fun of you is retarded. I hate that shit. People that do that shit are gay as hell.
So how long do we have for making this meme?
Give it time. I'm sure we'll get in trouble. Roy Masters mentioned was a real weirdo. If Jesse came out of his movement, it's not so good. Yeah, that's correct. I've been looking into Roy Masters a little bit, and everything I hear shows me that he was another charlatan. And the fact that these morons believe in Roy Masters in any capacity tells me they're easily fooled fuckheads. Jesse is on the carnivore diet, nothing but tuna steaks. Yeah. Tube steaks, indeed. Yeah.
And I don't know what these shows are.
Yes,
I don't know what they're
Roy
going to be.
was a
this week.
hypnotist.
And I know
You're not
that
wrong.
I can't promise how long it will be before we're talking about this stuff. I can't make myself not talk about that until it's done somehow. Brian, you came out tonight. I think it's important that you got on and said what you needed to say. It was an important addition, I think, here. And hopefully we're helping people also become the kind of people who don't need a cult. And if you want to go to see anybody, if you want to go see Jesse, go see him if it's up to you. I'm not going to stop you, but I don't think we should be the kind of people who need other people, who need somebody to approve us, who need somebody to say, okay, you're right, or need someone to tell us how important it is, go forgive your mother or something. We already should know certain things at some point. It's good to be reminded a little bit. But I just don't, to be the kind of person who falls into a cult-like situation is very, very dangerous. And I wouldn't want to see people waste the kind of time. I wouldn't call it wasted time because it was a crazy education in a way, and it may be something I just had to do. But on the other hand, I don't want to see someone go through 20 years of working and doing something that they didn't necessarily have to do. If you could find information out right now, if you can change right now, I don't want you to be the kind of person who has to spend 20 years having to find it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He was correct.
Anyway, Tyson said, thank you for the insight, Mr. Mizraka. And I thank you too, Brian.
Patrick is better off
for your friendship. And for
yeah,
your honesty.
probably.
And I think
he's failed his family, and he needs to do separately to reclaim his name.
I appreciate coming on and give me the opportunity to say what I had to say.
Patrick should become an
You're
ascetic.
Welcome, thank you, all you guys. Thank you, Mo.
Yes, Patrick should indeed
Mind Over
become
Energy
an ascetic. The actual meaning
great.
of
Thank
the
you for
word.
all you guys that gave today to help things go on.
Devote himself to God, renounce his worldly possessions, and go be a hermit somewhere.
We're just promoting natural health, success, and freedom. The only thing different about what I started is I think there's probably more of a spiritual connection now since I've gone through all this stuff. So there's always going to be a spiritual connection, but I still want to help you guys and let me know if there's
Bigger
things
Losers
that you
is
guys
the
want
only
discussed.
way.
We went on a
Patrick
Friday here because Brian needed to do this tonight. If there's particular nights of the week that work better for you guys, if you want us to talk about certain things, if these are helpful to you, obviously I think some of you guys
and then being beheaded
yes,
by
these
his
are helpful to
suicide partner.
if they're helpful, if we're missing something and we need to show something else, let us know. I'm open to that. I'm just here trying to be of help. If I'm not a what's that?
If they like it, press the like button.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can what's the word? Subscribe, if you want to. A lot of people are subscribing. Some may be disappointed as I move away from. I'm not going to be doing salacious Jesse stuff. I'm not trying to hit him and hurt him and all stuff. And I'll be moving. I'm moving in a direction out of that, and I'm hopefully moving into
salacious stuff. Yeah,
I'm not here for salacious stuff.
Go to Pornhub. Yeah.
I'm not here for
Jim
that.
Tuner says in the good old
Get outta
days, they
here.
used to
So don't subscribe if you're
lock
just
guys
looking
like
for me,
Patrick in
Snatch Jesse every
monasteries
week
and
or
make them
something
do
like that. I'm
manual
trying to
labor. That was
help people if I
probably a
can
good
possible,
thing.
or show
I
them
don't
the
disagree.
one that can help them. And but I'm
don't
just here
disagree.
as needed, week to week. If I see something that makes sense to me, I'll get on the air and I'll talk about it. If I see a guest or somebody who I think you guys should hear, I'll bring them on. It's kind of like that, and that's the way we've been going week to week.
Yeah, you've never had haters on this show. Old School doesn't bring in haters.
Yeah,
and I respect that because there's plenty of ammunition, to hate the guy.
There really is. There
But
is.
You haven't done that.
Well, I don't want to. I don't. Again, it's very simple. I don't want to go in the wrong direction because my soul is on the line. All of our souls are on the line here.
Yeah.
And if we go in a certain direction, if we're hating people and wishing them bad, then our soul is in danger of eternal damnation, of eternal. It's too much. Who would want that if you think about it?
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Anyway, I'm going
the
to end up
salacious
here.
Jesse
We've
stuff
gone,
would be
long
funny.
enough, Brian,
Jim
you get enough
Tuner.
of your time. Thanks so much. If people want to reach you,
Bigger Loser, the good old days
I'll be
never
certain.
left. ISIS
I'm not
throws
gonna
them
pick
off rooftops.
okay, so
That's
we're not going to do anything.
correct.
I guess if you want to get in touch with Brian, reach me. Is that how we're going to do it?
You could do that.
Okay.
You want my email address?
It's up to you if you want to give it or not.
B like Brian, J like John, and my last name, MISURACA@earthlink.net.
Oh, it's Earthlink. I gave the wrong one.
Sure, I'm sorry. No, Gmail.
Okay, good.
That's
That's
my old
it.
one.
That's right there.
And there it is.
That's
If
his
you want-
email. Want to reach him, but don't.
Blow job,
if you have
Mr.
something serious, Brian's a serious dude. He ain't going to give you the time of day if you want to say a bunch of stupid stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff on the internet now where people are just into trolling and. It's like, my God, people, don't you realize you have a soul? Don't you realize your soul is what's important here? Not how many hits or likes you get or how much you could try to hurt somebody. Hurting other people is not going to help your soul.
We could say the same
Obviously,
about
right?
you, Patrick.
Yep.
Do I have to say, did I have to say that? What's that?
You don't get any points for that in heaven.
Right. Captain Obvious, right? Okay, guys. And again, go to oldschoolus.com. I don't post a lot of stuff these days, but I'll post links to shows like this. And, whatever comes up that I think is necessary, I put out on oldschoolus.com. And if you want to reach me at info@oldschoolus.com. I think that's it for
Jim
me.
Tuner says be like
and
something and Jay
bye,
like
everybody.
something is what
Bye,
I
Brian.
heard.
Thanks
BJ,
again.
right? Weird stuff. Says, dude, man.
Well, that was a complete 2 hours wasted my time. Thank you, Patrick.
Yes. Trolling goes back to the dial in BBS. Yes.
Holy shit. And I thought it was going to be something good, man. Damn.
That's a shame. He had a guest on. Brian was like, I'm not gonna tell any stories. I'm not gonna get caught in a lie like these other motherfuckers. And it's like, no, okay, all right, bro.
I know. I
mean,
was really hoping for like some Martin Francis allegations.
Like, it's good on you. That's probably smart of him to not get caught in a lie on a live stream. But holy shit, it's less funny for us. Jim Tuner says the guy with the sunglasses and the black kids reminds me of Patrick.
Okay, well, let me put my hat on. All right, I'm ready.
So what?
The song. Well, it's not like we don't have anything else to show, do we?
Song? Oh, right. Yes. I know what you mean.
Southern men, the thunders mutter, northern flags and south winds flutter. To arms, to arms, in Dixie. Send them back your fierce defiance, stamp upon the cursed alliance. To arms, in Dixie. Advance the flag of Dixie. Hurrah, hurrah, for Dixie's land we take our stand and live or die for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. Fear no danger, shun no labor, lift up rifle, pike, and saber. To arms, to arms, to arms, in Dixie. Shoulder pressing close to shoulder, let the odds make each heart bolder. To arms, to arms, to arms, in Dixie. Advance the flag of Dixie. Hurrah, hurrah, for Dixie's land we take our stand and live or die for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. Swear upon your country's altar never to submit or falter. To arms, to arms, to arms, in Dixie. Till the spoilers are defeated, till the Lord's work is completed. To arms, to arms, to arms, in Dixie. Advance the flag of Dixie. Hurrah, hurrah, for Dixie's land we take our stand and live or die for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie.
Every fucking time it gets me.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yes, indeed.